Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to STARJUMP Shipyard. It is what night is it? It's Sunday night, everybody. I'm off center here on my camera. Nice to see you all. Hopefully, you all enjoyed the Daddy Daughter Plays session on Roblox. Me and Little Grim. It was a lot of fun. She enjoyed it. Nice to see you all, though. Thanks for hanging out and sticking around. I know it was a little awkward to end the stream like that, but again, do appreciate it. I do have Artorias here with me. Art, how are you, man?
Doing well, sir.
Yeah. Say, what's your day been up to? I know you've been kind of doing some Star Citizen stuff. Tell everyone what you've been up to, and I'm gonna slide off camera real quick and be right back.
Okay. Enjoy sliding. Make it smooth. That was good. Great transition. Me and the guys were from the Horizon. We're out grinding some rep today, running some missions in Nyx. Getting some blueprints in preparation for this tactical stuff coming in. Hopefully.
I just slid right back in.
I was so smooth.
So wait a minute. Are the tactical strike groups? Are those reputation locked? Are they behind a reputation wall?
I don't know, but the rock breaker was. So we're just kind of preparing in case they are.
Yeah, I believe the rock breaker's kind of behind Shub and Rep. Am I right on that one?
Yeah, it's not very far in.
Yeah,
it is behind a little bit.
Shub and Rep is on my next to do. Again, I've been doing more video capture lately in game. Today I went to a ship meet. Our good buddy Thrusters and Dust, Dusty Star, for those that know his channel on YouTube. I turned on YouTube this morning while I was hanging out and noticed that they were doing a big ship meet, and they had I think it was over 100 people there. It was right in New Babbage, so I logged in, joined the party, flew out a couple of ships. Every ship I flew out, though, the moment I got out would despawn. So that was a little frustrating. Hey, it's Jojo TV is in chat. Jojo, hope you're doing well. VMXEO, nice to see you there too, bud. But either way, it was really, really cool. Tons of ships out there. Everyone bringing their favorite paint, their rare paint and all that stuff. So it was a lot of fun. I ended up taking the Aegis Gladius Dunlevy. The paint is bugged. CIG, please fix the paint to the Dunlevy. It's the referral award. The paint doesn't work on it. Come on. And then when that didn't work, everyone was bringing out the big guns. They're bringing out the Polarises. They're bringing out all the big fancy ships. I said, what do I have that I don't see out in the verse very much? So I ended up bringing out the Dragonfly Yellow Jacket. The Yellow Jacket variant of the Dragonfly. It was the only one out there, so that was a lot of fun. It was also one of the smallest, vehicles out there, so it was kind of fun. I think, some people thought, oh, it's StarJump Grim, he's going to bring a big giant ship, but nope, I brought the Dragonfly. It was a lot of fun. Maybe in the future I'll be landing my Kraken out at the local ship show. But yeah, anyways, it was a good day. But yes, here we are, everybody. It is Sunday. It is Shipyard. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a few things. First off, thank you all for hanging around. Like I said, we had additional donation come in while we were switching streams. $20 from Von Cody. Von Cody, thank you very much, buddy, towards the Mercury and Avenger starter combo. That will be drawn on Wednesday this coming week. And then we've had some follows here. Gordon E., thank you very much. Let's go ahead and get those top of the show announcements out of the way. I'm going to switch us over here. We have St. Jude going on, if that wasn't already obvious. We just passed tonight $14,000 raised so far for this campaign. We're at $14,086. We have a number of raffles currently going on. Now, the Perseus was drawn on April 9th. That was drawn a few days ago, so you missed out on that one. But don't worry, there's another Perseus up on the board. I think Ender will be doing that drawing. And then we may have another Perseus in May. You'll have to wait and see. Either way, plenty of opportunity, plenty of chance, but you do have to donate to get those tickets, okay? In addition to that, on April 15th, for a $20 donation to our Tiltify link, which is in chat, I believe, or you can scan the QR code. On April 15th, we'll do a drawing for a Mercury Star Runner and an Avenger Titan Invictus starter pack. Thank you for that resubscribe, Space Kiwi, Danger Hobo, 3-stream streak. On April 22nd, We're kicking doors down with a Merchantman raffle drawing. All you got to do is a $30 donation to St. Jude via our Tiltify link. And then on April 29th, the final day of April streams for this channel, we're going big, everybody. For a $35 donation to the St. Jude link, you can enter the Hammerhead raffle. Again, remember that Hammerhead going gold standard at Invictus, okay? And then for a $60 donation towards St. Jude, you get a Polaris ticket. Now, you're probably wondering, what are my chances of winning? I never win anything. What are my chances of winning? Well, I'll go ahead and tell you, really pretty good. So in our Perseus giveaway we did, or Perseus drawing we did last Wednesday, you had a 1 in 60 chance of winning, which is not bad odds. For the Polaris right now, I think those odds are somewhere around a 1 in 37 chance of winning, because there's been 37 tickets sold. Okay, so your odds are actually really, really good. This is much better than my Gleam giveaways where you have 2,000 people enter. You know what I mean? So if you want the opportunity to have a good chance of winning one of these raffles, definitely donate. Definitely get one of those tickets. You have a really, really good chance, okay? Big shout out to our boy GearCon for generously, did I say that right? Generously, I can't talk tonight, generously providing all the ships for the raffles that you see on your screen just a minute ago. All the ships, again, provided by GearCon very generously. And we salute you, Gear. Everyone else, give 07s to GearCon for those, again, extremely generous offerings. Some good ships in there, okay? Some really good ships. Just to clarify everything, just so everyone knows, again, all winners will be contacted within 5 days of the drawing via email. Usually we try to contact you within a day or so. Winners will then have 7 days from the time their notification email is sent to claim their prize. Failure to claim the prize within that window will result in a new drawing and a new winner, okay? Yes, Art, if you could pen that Holby giveaway, that'd be great. One other thing to note, everyone, once I have established contact with you, once we have confirmed it is you, there is usually a delay in getting you the actual ship. That delay can be upwards of 7 days as we work out some logistical stuff between myself, GearCon, Ender, whoever. But those will go out, okay? But there usually is a short delay before it lands in your hangar, okay? There's a few reasons for that I won't get into. Some of that is related to security. Some of that is related to confirming some stuff. But again, it will 100% land there, so make sure you donate in confidence. One last thing, any and all money donated to the St. Jude or the STARJUMP St. Jude Tiltify link or QR code goes directly to St. Jude. None of that money comes here to STARJUMP at all, okay? Oh, we just had Joy Pop just gave out 5 community subs. Joy Pop, thank you very much, buddy. You're getting a 007 for that. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much for that generosity. Have a good showing already, buddy. Everyone, 112 over on Twitch and 93 watching on YouTube. We're just getting started. That is the St. Jude stuff right now. Please donate tonight. Let's push those things. Now, don't forget, if we get to $15,000 raised, I will be doing a Grim stream, an entire 2-hour stream in my alter ego, Country Grim. Okay, GearCon just cheered 100 bits. Thank you very much. Gloop 482 just gave out 5 community subs, hitting our sub goal of 10. Thank you very much, Gloop. Appreciate it. Goodness gracious. Doing another 007. I can't thank this amazing community enough. Art, this is a great community, wouldn't you say? I'd say so.
Best community around.
I'd say so. Thank you very much, Gloop. Appreciate that. Okay. We got stuff to get through here. The bot is running, everyone. If you got a question, comment, concern, put question in brackets. The bot will pick it up. Big shout out to our boy Sir Piggles, an absolute legend in the Star Citizen code meandering community. Okay, love Piggles. Thank you, Piggles, for getting that bot running. Do appreciate it, buddy. Okay, let's get to the giveaways tonight, everybody. Very, very clear. We have a whole B giveaway going on. You can scan that QR code right there, or you can go to the Gleam link This giveaway is courtesy of our good friends at Cloud Imperium Games, okay? Giving away a hull B with lifetime insurance and a Star Citizen game package. How cool is that? Okay, how cool is that? Actually, this just reminded me, Art, make sure we put on our show notes for this one. I want to talk about the Squadron 42 game package thing. But yes, hull B giveaway, really, really cool ship. I did get to actually fly it around and do a cargo mission with it. And I have to say, while I had initially had some doubts about this ship due to some of the cargo storing limitations, and those I discussed with Execute on our last stream, I gotta say, in practice, I was really surprised. I felt it performed really well and was a good all-around starter ship. By the way, everyone, real quick thing on the Gleam stuff. If you go there, you know, some of them are like follow on Twitter, follow on Twitch and stuff like that. If you've already done it, it will register that. So just click on it and it will automatically detect that you are already followed and you'll get the ticket for it. Don't worry. It counts all of them. You don't have to unfollow and follow back or anything like that. Okay, so get in on the hull B giveaway. Do appreciate that. Art has put the Gleam links in chat. Now, we have another giveaway, and that other giveaway tonight is for, where is it? Where is it? Oh, here it is. We're doing a giveaway tonight. We're going to do the drawing for the hull B tonight, by the way, but we're also doing a giveaway tonight, and that is for one of the Sapphire helmets. Okay, if you want to get in on that and you're over on YouTube, all you got to go is to the link pinned to the top of chat. Leave a comment over there. You know how this works, people. Go to the link pinned to the bottom or top, however it's for you on YouTube chat. That is my new player guide video. And leave a comment there. It can be hi, hello, how are you? You're handsome, anything you want. Leave a comment there. I'll draw a random winner from there. And if you're over on Twitch, you know what to do. It is Stream Elements time. Just do exclamation ticket or exclamation ticket space max, and boom, you're good to go. I'll pull a random winner from there. I'll put you both in the random wheel and get names, and one of you will get the really cool Sapphire skull helmet. One of the coolest helmets and looks badass in game. Okay, I'm just going to say, it looks badass in game. One of the coolest looking helmets in Star Citizen, in my opinion. Okay, so hopefully that's clear, everybody. We have St. Jude raffles going on right now. Make sure you get in on those. We have a hull B giveaway tonight. That drawing's tonight for the Miss Hull B, the new bad boy on the block, courtesy of Cloud Imperium Games. And we are giving away a Sapphire Skull helmet tonight, okay? We had a bunch of donations during the last stream I did with my daughter, about $125 raised from a number of people. Thank you very much. Rycon03, Anonymous, Grunge, Rage1, and our boy Von Cody. Thank you for that. Okay, what are we talking about tonight? We are talking about tactical strike groups. Okay, let me switch back over here. And we're also going to talk about ships. We're going to probably talk a little bit about the battle cruiser. We're going to talk a little bit about the 4.8 and a defense con kind of push as we get closer to that, which we're bearing down on really, really quickly. Remember, defense con starts May 14th, which is kind of insane. That is 1 month from now, everybody. We are 1 month away from the Ironclad, 1 month away from a lot of big surprises. Now, before we get to that, I want to talk about another bit of news, okay? And I'm going to pull up something here while I talk about this. But the big news of the week was that Squadron 42 game packages in your hangar, or sorry, in your buybacks, let me be very specific here. Squadron 42 game packages in your buybacks were unable to be repurchased or bought back. Okay? There's a lot to read into there, but let's just start with the controversy of it all first. Okay? The controversy of it all first being that what was once in buybacks is no longer in buybacks, right? And you now can't get this, you now can't get your Squadron 42 buyback that you've had sitting in there for God knows how long, okay? There was a lot of controversy even in our own Discord. Now, I do know that C-Daddy CIG, C-Daddy, I don't know if you're in here right now, buddy. C-Daddy was unaware of this particular thing and said as much and said that he should be aware of it because he's the one that does all this stuff. So this could be a bug. I think we all need to stay calm. Okay, it might be a bug. They may fix it. So I think we should all chill before panicking. It also may be purposeful. Okay, but one thing I did want to point out to everyone, I'm going to switch over to my window here. Right here on the pledge buyback, you know, what do you call this? Article, whatever. There is a sentence here that I think we have to all remember when putting things in buybacks. Okay, this is very important. It says here, while, and I quote, while in general, reclaimed pledges should appear here in your buybacks, circumstances and such can change, and thus players should not use the buyback tool as any sort of storage for old pledges. Okay. Hey, thank you, S Found, for that $10 donation. Do appreciate that. Thank you for that. We're now $14,096 raised. So what that means is that if you have something in buybacks, it's always potentially at risk. Okay. That could be something that they are just discontinuing you being able to buy it back. It could be and in most cases, it's probably a price raise on that on that specific item, thus making it unable to be reattained by you, because again, the cost has gone up. Oh yeah, thank you for the follow, Hell's Hand. Thank you for the follow. It also could just be other reasons why maybe it gets removed. Okay, it was never a guarantee, essentially, is what they're trying to say here. So if you do have something in buybacks that is really, really important to you that you don't want to lose, then I would maybe get it out of buybacks. Okay, what this is proven, if this was intentional, okay, and I say if this was intentional, if the whole Squadron 42 game package thing removal was intentional, then what that shows us is CIG is serious about if something major is changing on the back end, they will remove it. Okay? Potentially with no notice. Again, the item being in your buybacks means you do not own it anymore. They're just giving you the ability to repurchase it, which means nothing. It means you're zeroed. Just because it's in your buybacks does not mean it is in like some reserve hangar or anything. $20 from Rooster Rage. Rooster, thank you very much, buddy. Do appreciate you. So I just wanted to point that out as to place devil's advocate for CIG. Okay. Now, to flip back over to the STARJUMP side of things, I do prefer to get some heads up, right? I do want some heads up. I want to understand before CIG makes these sort of changes, right? VMXEO says he's heard some see it missing, others have it in buyback. I went to an old pledge I had, and it was unavailable for purchase. I know someone who had like 5 or 6 Squadron 42 packages in buyback. All of them were unavailable. The only package I currently even have, and this was sent to me, shout out to the person who sent it to me, I do appreciate it, is the Bounty Hunter, which is an old school package. And inside that is the Squadron 42 digital download. Now, this is in my full-on hangar, so I have it attributed to me. But what could this mean? Essentially, there's a couple ways to read into it. One, it's a bug, and we shouldn't concern ourselves with it. Two, and what I think is maybe more likely, Art, I'd like your opinion on this, but what seems maybe more likely to me is that CIG or someone at CIG is doing some tinkering with Squadron 42 attributes or credentials on the back end on our hangar, right? Corthius, thank you for the subscription via Prime. Appreciate that. But some knobs or switches are being turned. Perhaps that means when we get to DefenseCon Invictus, maybe we're going to get the restart or promotional sale, kickoff for Squadron 42, right? Maybe that will happen. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not trying to put in like, false hopium here, but we all know that Squadron is coming this year, hopefully, right? Unicorns, thank you for the follow. We all know it's coming, or at least that's the best information we have. I know there's going to be someone in chat that says this is CIG. It's not coming this year, but it's supposed to. And with that, all we can assume is it's coming this year. So at some point, this stuff has got to happen. The marketing's got to kick off. The game packages have got to be sold again. A number of other things. right? So all that's got to happen. I don't totally know where I land on everything. I guess I would probably say that this whole thing aside with the Squadron 42 packages, I would probably say that it's a sign that we are going to get probably some Squadron news come DefenseCon. Art, do you got any opinions on it?
Yeah, I think so too. I think I would say that with there being no warning, I would hope this is a thing
Yeah.
that was done accidentally. But looking at things that have recently happened with the mole getting that changeover from the one that had like the obsidian and lunar and stuff like that, and then that getting changed over to a regular mole with just the skins added, that wasn't announced either. I don't think, as far as I
Yeah.
know, it wasn't
No, you're
announced. It was
right. That
just
was another one that wasn't totally announced. And that applied to did it only apply
not a
to the
lot of
mole?
people.
Okay, did it only
Yeah,
apply to the
it
mole?
was just it was the moles that they had that was that limited edition paint
The carbon,
slash
what's that? The carbon and the talus or something like that.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
it's one of those things where I'm kind of like, is this, somebody that's just pulling things to make changes to kind of put stuff in line for future content, future designs? I mean, it made sense because there's no point in having a separate mold that's just a paint.
yeah.
But that being said, that and then a game package is two very different things. So I would hope it's a bug, but
Right.
they've not warned us before. So
Yeah. Thank you, Falcon. Appreciate that posture check. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of unknowns right now. I think there's a lot of creators out there who, have said one thing or said they heard another thing or hinting at this thing. I'll be totally honest with you, as a creator that knows a few devs, as a creator who does poke around in the game files and has a bunch of people who do poke around the game files for me occasionally. I haven't heard of anything yet that signals to me, anything, any bit of major info coming other than question marks. Obviously, we know a lot of big stuff is coming, but the way CIG's been going about stuff over the last 12 months, honestly, I feel like things are kind of a constant surprise with them. So never say never with them. I think it's very possible we could see the kickoff for Squadron 42 marketing at DefenseCon. I mean, we don't even really know what this event coming up is. As you see here on the poster, things have changed with even just the prepping up of this event. It's now Drake Presents DefenseCon 2956. It also runs for the entire time, right? May 14th to May 27th. Usually that was Invictus. Now it's all a DefenseCon. So major changes there, right? So yeah, it's tricky. I don't think any of us know what to expect, I guess is what I'm saying. But if I had to put my money on it, that's what I would say. Now, another reason I think it's likely that we see Squadron, and this one is one I haven't heard a lot of people talk about, but I'm just putting on my marketing hat here, like as someone who's worked in marketing for going on 25 years. The fact that the battle cruiser concept sale is going live at Invictus is very, very interesting to me. And I've said this on previous streams. I said it on Info Runners, but it's to be expected. There's going to be some bad juju press and some drama surrounding not only another concept sale, which we know this is the last one, another concept sale, but more importantly, the most expensive concept sale they've ever done, probably, right? You can expect the Kotaku article already, right? The IGN articles are coming. But
yeah,
how do you...
I mean, the all of the people are gonna come out of they've tripled down on the scam, on the game scam. It's coming. It's still a scam, and now they're scamming people out of $5,000 versus most expensive ship ever from the most expensive game ever.
Yeah, so you end up in a situation where okay, we need something to parallel that concept announcement that kind of mitigates it, or at the very least puts a positive bit of energy behind it, right? And to me, the best thing would be the announcement of either Squadron 42 game packages going back on the store, although I think there's some problems with that, and I'll talk about that in a second. But more specifically, a target for Squadron 42's release. Not a day, but a month. So they say October or November or September, whenever they're targeting. By giving that month, that release month, which would be the most specific announcement they've ever given for Squadron 42's release, because previously it was only that it was coming in a certain year, 2016 or 2026 or whatever. By laying down a firm, we're showing our cards, we're putting our cards on the table. Oh, and by the way, we have this massive concept sale going on. It allows people to know that, hey, this is a game company putting out a game. They've got a month targeted, right? I'm not saying that alleviates all the concerns people have. It's not, you're still going to have some people calling it a scam for sure. But from a pure marketing standpoint, you're saddling something that's going to be slightly controversial, especially to the outside gaming audience, with something that could potentially be very positive for the outside gaming audience. You know what I mean? So that marriage there, I think, is important. Now, again, I've never done marketing for a game company. I've been very open and clear about that. I don't know what the hell CIG's got planned. I hope they have a good plan. I would think they do. They definitely don't have any problem making money. So we're not talking about a company that doesn't know how to do marketing. You know what I mean? Hey, Ryan Games. Hope you're doing well. Ryan Mac Gamer. Hope you're doing well, buddy. So with that understanding, that's what I think is going to happen. Okay. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I think is going to happen. I do hope, and Art, I'd be curious your thoughts on this as someone who maybe has a different opinion. I don't know. I do hope that if they do talk about Squadron, okay, and it's being targeted for later this year, I would hope that some sort of pre-order or game package sale kicks off in short order. Allow some special edition versions or whatever to be purchased by some of those who have been around for a while. Maybe the fact that some people cannot buy their old Squadron 42 game packages out of buybacks is because the value of them is increasing. I could see that. I could see everyone who has a Squadron 42 game package currently in their hangar, I can see that actually getting upgraded to some sort of collector's edition Squadron 42 package. I could totally see CIG doing that. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Real quick here, let's hit a few questions before we go into main topic. We're going to talk about tactical strike groups tonight, everyone. We are going to watch a little something when that occurs. But let's hit a few questions here. Ruger Blood Moon says, question, with the UTV, PTV, and STV, do you think they can create a 6 to 8 person HTV hangar transport vehicle for ferrying people around in hangars? Yeah, I guess they could. You know what I think they should do on hangars? I think they need to have those little moving treadmills on the far side that are at airports, so you can step on them and it will just shoot you across really fast. Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, we've heard some rumors, I think an Inside Star Citizen, but I've heard some rumors that, no, the Hull B winner has not been announced yet. But I've heard some rumors that they are working on a very large ground vehicle. I've heard that rumor before. I can't remember if it was said by someone substantial or someone that just might know something. I can't remember. But yeah, I've heard that more than once. Okay, I've heard that more than once. Real quick here, let me close that. Next question. VMXEO says, question, how can I be as cool on camera as Art? You can't. You can't be as cool as Art. He's worked hard at his coolness. But you got VMXEO coolness, which is equally cool. Eagle0013 says, I think the Kruger Stingray will be out for tactical strike groups. I was thinking this would be a torpedo bomber, maybe, and will be needed for that mission. You know, we are going to talk about some ships, obviously, this episode. This is STARJUMP Shipyard. I think that the Stingray, I honestly think it's like, if I just had to guess, and I have no inside information on this ship whatsoever, but if I had to guess, I think it's an Eclipse variant. We don't have anything that plays in that Eclipse, Aegis Eclipse kind of playground, you know, single seater that has a big ass torpedo on it. You know what I mean? And to me, the Stingray, I feel like would be perfect, like as a perfect name for like an, you know, an alternate vehicle around that. We know Kruger kind of centers their ships around the weapon system, right? That seems to be kind of a big thing for Kruger. And I could see some sort of, you know, big torpedo thing. Maybe it's a beam weapon variant. Maybe there's a Stingray that just fires a big beam. I don't know. Although I got to say, my faith in CIG on the beams is starting to diminish a little bit. We'll have to go into that at a later date. What about you, Art? Any idea on the Stingray? Any hopes for that one?
I mean, yeah, I would definitely like for some sort of torpedo / bomber variant. So I would want it, kind of agree with you, like the Eclipse, but also the availability of being able to swap out that module in the middle of it, so that we can have both torpedoes and bombs.
Yeah,
we don't have that option really yet. That's like a quick swap out kind of thing. You either get one or the other. So giving it a little bit of an option to do either or would be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Actually, it's JoJo TV says, I've heard whispers of it being mentioned in the latest tech preview files. I have not heard that, but I don't doubt you, JoJo. I know your information is pretty solid. I know VMXEO might be in chat. I know I always wanted to call VMXEO by his real name, but I know VMXEO is probably going to do some poking around soon. And is always, he's the Sherlock Holmes of game clients. So I'm sure if there's any mention there, we may find something. But look, I got to tell you, on the flip side, I've been really excited for I'll learn how to talk here. I've been really excited for like the surprises. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is kind of one, there's always that period of time when you're going into a big event, whether it's CitizenCon, IAE, Invictus, whatever, where you don't know all the information. There's a little bit of excitement around that, right? You want to be surprised. You want to kind of, you know, have a little element of surprise. I will say that it's kind of nice when we know at least one thing coming, right? And CIG's been pretty clear about that. We do know the Ironclad's coming. That's extremely clear. And then they straight up told us the Raylan is coming for Alien Week. So it's kind of nice to know those things. And then we know there's a bunch of other surprises too. So I kind of like that, right? I kind of like that. That's cool. So we'll poke around. We'll see what's what. I heard a little bit of a rumor around when you go into the tech preview now, and again, this is Evo, so I can't show any pictures, but when you go up to the IO tower now, where the Idris P was docked last time, and you can go on board and tour it, they have that again, but it's kind of weird. It's all the signage is Drake, but it's the same setup as last year, but there's no ship there, which is kind of interesting. No Idris P there or anything. And it makes you wonder if maybe there's something else going to be out there. Again, we don't know. Could it be the Kraken exterior? Maybe they have it where you can walk out on at least the flight deck of the Kraken. Who knows? Could it be an Ironclad dock there? Who knows? But I've heard some rumors that there's some sort of wall there that is a little different than how it was set up in the previous code. So again, I don't think it has any clues to it, but we're getting to that period where things are probably going to start leaking out as we get more 4.8 Evo builds. As a matter of fact, I think they tried to push one this weekend and it didn't push. So there was some thinking that it might push on Monday. So again, we're going to get more and more Evo builds, and little by little, more and more information is going to leak out. So I would implore you, if you're one of those people that does not want to be spoiled on anything, you got to be careful out there with these streams for sure, because we talk about upcoming stuff. That's what we do. Obviously we respect CIG. We're not going to leak anything Squadron 42 related. There's sometimes little bits of information I know about that maybe it's been data mined or something like that. Maybe the wider group world doesn't know, but we're going to talk about that stuff, especially if it's in the game files, like a data mine, just because I kind of configure it being out in the open at that point. Okay, next question here. Bingo Winchester says, don't certain concierge members get Squadron 42 automatically? What's the rules on that again? I forget what the rules are. I didn't qualify for it, and I've been concierge for quite a while. I think I've been concierge since 2022, and I did not qualify for it. $20 from Rooster Rage. Thank you very much, Rooster. Rooster's put a couple of donations towards that Mercury and Avengers starter combo. We'll be giving that away on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, 15th. Zadoza says, question, with the Ironclad slated for release soon, when would you expect CIG to release an in-depth video on them? What I'm expecting for that is, I'm honestly expecting CIG on May 14th, the first day of DefenseCon. I'm thinking them to come out of the gate swinging with the Ironclads day one. I think we're going to get the big video then. I've heard some people say, well, I think they'll hold off till the end of DefenseCon. I don't think they're going to do that. And the reason is both of those ships are going to go up slightly with their flight ready price. And there's two of them. And CIG wants to give people enough of a runway to purchase as many of those as possible before they take them off the store shelf. So I think much like last year where the Idris P went for sale day one, I think the same thing's going to happen here with the Ironclads. I think May 14th. And a video probably on that day. I think it would be crazy if DefenseCon didn't kick off with Drake.
Didn't they push the Perseus like the first day as well last year? I think so.
Yes, I think so. I think it was. Yeah, I think you're right. Invictus Praetorian says, question, after CIG finishes rounding out the UE Navy ships, do you think we'll see the UE Army or Marine vehicles get worked on? I do. I actually do. I mean, we do have one as referral now. There's a couple Army referrals. I think if you get one referral, you get the Army armor set. And I think it's 65 referrals. You get the Army branded Storm tank, which is really cool. By the way, on referrals, everyone, check this out. Things are going well. Up to 45 recruits. We're only five recruits away from that sweet, sweet Misk Raptor, which we'll put in Fleet Viewer. 75 recruits get you the Tumbrel Storm GCD Army variant, and then 100 paints, you get a Freelancer Max with a bunch of cool paint jobs, more and more as you go. So yeah, yes, I think they'll fill out the Army line, but in many ways, I think the Army stuff is going to be just liveries for existing ships and vehicles. So I think you'll be able to get like a Spartan, a Ballista. I think you're going to get the Army variants of that. There may be an Army UTV, for example, and I think it'll be a livery, and I think that'll be a rep grind that you do. You know what I mean? And you unlock those. So I think it'll be a paint. I don't think there's like going to be any special Army vehicles that only the Army uses personally.
Well, we did get we did see in the Squadron trailer.
I could be wrong though.
We did see the boat. So I think maybe we'll get the boat eventually.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we're going to get boats. I think we're going to get all kinds of cool stuff. I'm still pretty certain that we're going to get so you know how we got the space stations, right? I think we're going to get a smaller version of those that are maybe more like, I've called them platforms, for example, They're kind of non-expandable space, like mini space stations. I think there's going to be all kinds of stuff that isn't currently able to be pledged for that we're going to be able to be pledged for, that are in different categories than stuff we have now. Titan suits, which we do have the ATLS, but I do think Titan suits are a different thing, by the way.
Oh, they're completely different.
Yeah. Titan suits, boats, platforms, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Couple more questions here, and then we'll get into tactical strike groups. This is a hard one. Daniel Pack Homkin, when do you think we are getting the Liberator, especially now that we are probably getting rearm and refuel? Well, we know the Liberator is in pre-production. We haven't gotten an update on the Liberator in quite some time. But if I had to guess, it definitely wouldn't be this year. For anyone holding out hope that they're getting a Liberator in their hangar this year, I think that is not happening. I think a Liberator could be the perfect ship for an Invictus 2027. We don't know what Invictus next year would look like, if it's more Invictus themed or more Defense Com themed, but I can tell you that Invictus would be a great place for the Liberator to come, personally. We'll see, though. But yeah, I don't think it's this year. I've heard a lot of people say they think the Liberator's coming this year. I don't think that at all. Not that CIG couldn't prove me wrong, but just based off the ship pipeline progress, I think that's a long shot. A long shot. Charlie McAwesome, love the name as always. Any chance you think maybe Liberator for Invictus / Strike Group? I think they mentioned a third ship for refuel rearm. They announced the Liberator, and we've heard nothing since with the new pace. Yeah, I mean, that's why I just asked your question, because I knew someone would think that. Yeah, I don't think it's the last we've heard pre-production. Pre-production is before white box. So let's assume for a minute that they've been aggressive, which they have been on a number of ships. So let's assume they've gone way past pre-production on the Liberator. And I don't think pre-production would have been a big phase anyway, because the Liberator is a newer concept. Even at the most optimistic progress, maybe the Liberator's hitting gray box. But even then, why wouldn't they put that in the ship updates? Like, why hold that one back and make that a surprise? They've said the Liberator was going into pre-production, so I don't know why they would surprise us on that. They've got a ship, though, that they've announced for this fall that is the same size as the Liberator that needs to get a lot of work done to it, and that's the Galaxy. I think they're very, very busy. I think the Liberator's getting some pre-production work, maybe a pause here or there, and will be picked back up. So, yeah. Best case scenario for the Liberator, it could come at Citizen Connor IAE, but no way in hell it's coming for Invictus. There's just no way. Plus, we've already got 2 ships in that size, actually 3 ships coming during Defense Con in that size category. Ironclad Assault, and Hammerhead Gold Standard. Yep. The Liberator would be yet another 125 meter ship at the same event. We need the medium ship. We need the small starter LTI ship. We need those smaller ones now. Okay. But again, everything I'm saying, everyone, CIG may go completely opposite way and release the Liberator tomorrow for all I truly don't know, but based off the ship progress, it would seem impossible. All right.
And they mentioned that third ship, and that very well could be the Ironclad. I mean, it could be.
Yeah.
It would be. I doubt it, but it could be. Yeah.
I mean, it's just hard to know. I mean, I've talked with a lot of people, and I know Jojo is in chat. Jojo, you may feel the same way about this. And I know there's some old school, so there's ship-focused content creators. There's also just ship-focused citizens. I know a lot of you in chat know a lot about the ships as well. You've been following this game for a long time. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think any creator or any ship-focused citizen out there, if they're being totally honest with themselves, I think they would fully admit that none of us can predict what CIG is doing right now, because they are operating so differently now from where they were even 2 years ago, technically even a year ago. The rate at which they're tackling not only big ships, but multiple big ships at the same time. It's very, very clear the ship team has grown to what is probably its largest level in the history of the project. And we just, as people not on the inside, we're not going to be able to accurately predict how fast they can turn out a new ship. Previously, it was told by John Crew and Ben Curtis that was about 18 months for a ship, give or take. I don't think any of us can say that now. Well, that's obviously not true. If the Galaxy is in white box and it's supposed to come out later this year, are you kidding me? That's way shorter than 18 months, okay? And the ship started production a couple months back, even before that. At most, we're talking 12 months for the Galaxy. So, yeah, JoJo says there, educated guess is best. Yeah, exactly. All we can do, everyone, is make educated guesses, because at this point, anything we sort of like think is what CIG is doing based off previous timelines should be taken with a grain of salt. I can tell you right now, they're operating at speeds I've never seen them operate at before. And even I can't, I can't even predict. Yeah, JoJo TV says the 18-month thing is definitely not a thing now, though. Yeah, 100. I couldn't agree with you more. All right, one or two more questions, then we'll get to tactical strike groups. Again, just wanted to catch a few of these right up front. A couple of last streams, I couldn't get through all of them. Hudson Hawk says, Mr. Grimm, I'm curious about the pricing. What's so special or useful about a concept ship like the Odyssey costing $700 when it's expected to be around $850 on release? What is it supposed to do that makes it worth that much? Especially considering we don't yet have proper exploration gameplay, and all we've heard is that we'll be able to find underground resources. People often compare which is better, the Carrack or the Odyssey. What do you think? Well, that's a great question. And in many ways, the answer is probably a lot simpler than you want it to be, which is the price is kind of dictated by two things. Technically three, but I'm going to say two. Price is dictated first by size, and second by role. Okay. The third kind of thing that affects pricing is, you've probably heard it before, the luxury tax or the alien tax or the combat military tax. And while I do think that's a real thing, it's been very evident over the past 12 months that the tax thing is still a thing, but not as much of a thing. The number one thing I think that dictates that size is price size is what dictates the price. Why is the Odyssey so expensive? Because the Odyssey is almost as big as a Polaris. It's damn near the size of a Polaris and could grow up to Polaris size. In many ways, the Odyssey is a non-combat Polaris. It's an industrial ship. I also think that the Odyssey will probably get a few changes to give it some added flexibility. You know what I mean? Gin and Tonic says there, if the dropship tax, so the dropship tax was another one that they talked about. I don't think it would be much of a thing now. It was a thing back when the steel came out, for sure. That's why the steel is so expensive. But now, I don't think the alien tax, first off, the Miss Hull B came out at a more expensive price than I thought. So what's the tax on that one? The fact that it's MISC? At that point, I think every manufacturer or every niche group could probably get some tax applied to it. I don't think if the steel came out now, I don't think it would cost as much as it did when it came out. Same with the Prowler. But at the same time, there's ships that come out that are more expensive than I thought they should be. So I can't quite figure it out. But you're not wrong, Gin and Tonic. There was definitely a drop ship tax, 100%. Even with the Valkyrie's an expensive ship. You know what I mean? Too expensive. Okay, two more questions here, everybody, then we're moving on. Lobo2394 says, some people were speculating that we won't see the Javelin right after Squadron 42 because they said the Kraken will be the biggest player-owned ship on release. Do you agree? Is that fair speculation? Yeah, Art, I don't know what you think about this. I think that's fair speculation, but I also would take it with a bit of a grain of salt. That could have just been CIG saying that specifically to throw us off from the Javelin coming. I can tell you right now, and I know Execute from the info runners would back me up on this. CIG is known for saying things to throw us off the scent of other ships. Okay, so I wasn't there, so I don't want to say what CIG said, but CIG apparently told Algrid and Execute that the Clipper silhouette was actually not a Drake ship, but it ended up being a Drake ship. There's been other instances too where that's happened. So, and then there's been other times where they've tried to throw us off the scent only for it to be exactly what we thought. Like when they said it was the orange salvage ship. Remember when they talked about the orange salvager? Everyone was like, oh, it's got to be Argo. And everyone was like, yeah, they're not going to be that obvious. Well, it ended up being the Argo Moth, right? But it wouldn't shock me if CIG said that about the Kraken, only to surprise drop the Javelin at some point earlier than the Kraken's release. That wouldn't shock me. One final question, then we're moving on here to tactical strike groups. Gin and Tonic says the Astropub thinks the Liberator is going to get bigger. Do you? Interesting. Jen, did he say why he thought the Liberator was getting bigger? I'd be curious on if he mentioned why he thought that. Here's something I'll say about ships and their size, okay? And I got a little bit of this from talking with either Gavin Rothery or Paul Jones. I forget who I was talking to about this. Excalibur with a $20 donation to St. Jude. Thank you very much, Excalibur. Everyone, do not forget to donate for St. Jude. Again, $15,000 is our next milestone. If I hit that, I'm doing the entire stream as Country Grim. The entire stream is Country Grim. You're going to love it, I promise. It's a whole thing. If you don't think I can RP and act, then you don't know me. I've been RPing for a long time. Okay. Country Grim is the next milestone. Please donate if you can. I do appreciate it. We got some fantastic raffles going on. Polaris, Hammerhead, all kinds of great stuff. Get in on it. What are you waiting for? Merchantman. We're giving away a damn Merchantman. Again, shout out to GearCon for those raffles. Okay. Genton says, does Country Grim have bad teeth? Yes, he does. Here's what I'll say about ships, and this is what I heard from a ship developer. The size of ships isn't always meant to be just bigger and bigger, bigger. So, for example, in regards to the Kraken, just because it's a ship carrier, just because it's a carrier, doesn't mean it's meant to carry every ship. It's not even meant to carry every medium ship or every small ship. They don't build them like that. So, the Kraken, for example, and I've said this before, the Kraken was designed around carrying 2 cutlasses. If you go back to the original Kraken design documents and look at all the old original Kraken concept images, there's one thing they all have in common. They carry 2 cutlasses. No matter what the design of the ship looked like, it was designed around fitting 2 medium ships. Everything else was extra. There were versions of the Kraken that only carried 2 medium ships and no other ships. Okay? So the Kraken, for sure, is built around carrying 2 medium Drake ships, a la the Cutlass. There's other medium ships that you probably can land there, but from a design standpoint, they've got to put some guardrails on it, and they're building it to carry the Cutlass. Okay? With the Liberator, if you apply that same logic, the Liberator is going to be probably built around carrying small anvil ships, Hornets, Gladiators, stuff like that. By default, sure, it's going to be able to carry other ships. You might be able to squeeze a Vulture on there. You're going to be able to put a Scorpius on there. But from a design standpoint, it's easier for CIG to sort of keep it in the family a little bit with those manufacturers. And from just a pure lore standpoint, it makes sense too for the Liberator to carry anvil ships. It's an anvil ship. You know what I mean? So I think that's the approach they take. And with that, does it need to get bigger? Sure, it could be bigger. It absolutely could be bigger. Maybe it should be bigger, right? I'm not in argument against it being bigger.
What was it called? The Super Liberator?
There's the Super Liberator. Yeah. Yeah. Do we let me pop over here. We'll bring up
I was
the.
gonna say let's pull up the Super Liberator.
Yeah, we'll bring up the
my
Super
my
Liberator.
dream ship.
Yeah, we'll bring up the Super Liberator. There it is. Right. The thing there though is the
Can we
question
get
is.
another ship in there for scale?
Yeah, we could put in. Let's do a Hornet, right? Because let's do a Hornet Mark II. There's a Hornet Mark II right there. Right. So obviously the Super Liberator could fit a lot of ships on it. Actually, I'll bring in a Kraken too, so we have a good idea of the Super. Right.
I love it.
But the idea here is, how big is too big, right? Any ship can be bigger, right? Of course. But John Crew, it really doesn't seem like he takes that approach. It does seem like John Crew takes the approach of, let's make the ship as big as it needs to be to do the role we want it to do properly, right? The Kraken's job is to carry 2 medium ships. It's to that scale. Okay, I even asked Gavin Rothery personally, is the Kraken to scale or should it grow? He didn't tell me if it was growing or shrinking or anything like that. Didn't get explicit. But what he did tell me was, his reply was, and I quote, the Kraken was built to scale, to modern the Kraken was built to modern metrics. That's what he told me. Okay. So with that, I don't think the Kraken's going to grow much at all, like barely any, because it just barely fits in the extra large capital hangars. Okay. In regards to the Liberator, personally, I do hope it grows to about 150 meters, putting it at about Odyssey size. But right now, if it stays at its 100 and whatever meter length it is, I think 120, 125, it's considered a large ship. And I think it would function there just fine. You'd be able to carry 2 ships on the main top deck, a number of ground vehicles, and possibly another ship on the bottom deck. So far, it's not positioned to compete with the Kraken. It's not a light carrier. Well, I think they actually do call it a light carrier. So, but in terms of its scale, it's not positioned to play in the same playground as the Kraken. But I think a small size up. So the Kraken's 270 meters. If the Liberator, and I'll bring the Liberator up real quick, at 119 meters, here's the baby Liberator here, and we'll get this Super Liberator out of the way for a minute. If the Liberator was to grow, let's say up to like 150 meters, something like that, right? So let's say it grows up to something like this. I do think it starts to get in that playground now of being able to compete, maybe not with the Kraken still. Well, maybe, but I think it would be like a nice in-between ship between the Kraken and the Idris, actually. You know what I mean? It kind of play in that regime. We'll have to see. But right now, the only thing I have heard is that the Liberator is still the Liberator at 120 meters. Okay. All right. We're going to talk about tactical strike groups for a minute. I may have this video sort of loop in here as we go through some stuff. We're going to probably watch this video here in a second. Actually, you know what? Let's watch the video first. We might do some pauses. Does that sound good? We're going to do some pauses. Hold on one second, everybody. I want to check one thing. Bear with me. Oh my gosh, why is this? Sorry, my thing is acting up. Bear with me, everybody. Okay, cool. All right. We're going to watch this. We're going to do some pauses, I'm sure. This is around 8 minutes long. Is it 8 minutes long? Yeah, around 8 minutes long. This talks all about tactical strike groups. Okay, that is the instance content they talked to us about at CitizenCon. This is the CitizenCon presentation. We're going to watch this now. If any donations come in, I'll pause and shout those out, shout you out for donating. Again, do appreciate your generosity. Okay. And I'm going to tell you right now, for those of you donating, keep donating, because the more donations we get, the more we may drop something really big. You never know. You never know. Okay, here we go. We're going to watch this. If you have questions, throw them up. We'll get to them. Here we go.
The
People's Alliance are still trying to get to the bottom of what this new faction is really doing in the Nyx system.
They've sent a capital ship to check out a station and run into more than they can take care of themselves.
Unfortunately, that team came under attack and members of their groups were taken hostage. Now they've reached out to Intersect, who've reached out to you to help recover the pilot. Of course, it's unwise to do this alone, so you'll need to put a team together to attack the station.
When you arrive, you will have this big asteroid, kind of broken asteroid, and on this you will have this base where you will find 3 big arms.
I'm going to do my first pause there. I think that's kind of interesting there where they specifically showed the ships jumping in. I don't know if that is supposed to sort of be a visualization of us coming into the instanced playground aspect of this, that closed off instance sort of playground, or if we do start at some sort of staging area and then maybe we jump to a location, and when you jump to a location that switches you to the instance stuff. It'll be really interesting to see how these tactical strike groups are accessed via instanced from the live game. Because remember, it's not an arena commander thing or anything. And people are going to want to crew up their ships, get themselves organized. And I'm really kind of curious how CIG is going to do it. Right now, I think you're all going to accept a mission, and then there's going to be a marker out somewhere that you jump to. And when you jump to that particular marker, the tactical strike group marker, when you get to that marker, it's going to then transition you into the instance. That's what I think is going to happen. Let's keep going.
You will see in the middle, you will have this big energy core.
Be right back.
Everything here has a purpose. It's not just for the show, just something nice to see.
You'll see a People's Alliance-owned Idris that's just on the outside, and it's going to be getting harassed by this unknown faction that you have met before.
We're watching.
So your first objective here is to clear out the ships. There'll be waves of these ships, so this is what you want your light or your medium or your heavy fighters, whichever playstyle you prefer.
So while one part of your group is dealing with the fighters, now it's time to actually assault the station.
This station has been outfitted to resist all of the obvious way of attacks.
Somehow they've incorporated Vanduul capital ship killing turrets. These turrets ignore small fighters, and they have the firepower to destroy even the biggest capital ships.
Your Polaris and your Idris, if you get it close, it will get shredded. The idea of these is so we can sort of make it so we can mix up that ship combat, and not everyone can just bring the biggest ship and win just because they have the biggest ship.
Is it me, or do these Vanduul weapons, I mean, they look like they're using some new type of energy. It's obviously an energy weapon, a beam weapon of some sort, but it looks to be like some sort of new beam energy element there. It's got a different look and feel to it. I don't know if anyone knows any background on that, but it is pretty cool. Again, you heard them talk about how these cannons will ignore the small fighters, right? Which again gives them a reason for being there. And I think based off what we're going to hear coming up here, there's a lot of reasons for different ships to be there. It's Midnight Black SC, thank you for the $20 donation towards attack. Appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Have to send out your best pilots to navigate the superstructure and take down anything that may damage your bigger ships. So at this point you're thinking, destroy the turrets. But it's not that easy. This turret has shields that you've never seen before. It won't take any kind of damage. Your missiles won't do anything, your lasers won't do anything, your ballistics won't do anything to them. But like everything, they do have a weakness. You have to cut the power to their shields. To do that, that actually brings you to your first objective, the power relays.
So the exterior has a number of power relays that are holding the doors closed so that you can't get in.
You have to find them, You have to target them, and you have to destroy them. But it may not be as easy as it seems.
Here's our first wrinkle. The power relays have their own shields that are resistant to energy-based attacks.
We know how much you like using laser repeaters, but so do these guys.
Capital ship can't get close enough because of the turrets.
So ships with explosive or ballistic ordnance will be needed here. That's torpedo ships like your Retaliator or Gladiator, or even another fighter with ballistics loadout. That's going to take you a while.
To get that Inferno revved up.
Once the power relays have been taken down, the station opens up.
And this is where things get really cool.
Now it's time for you to fly your ship inside the station.
Yeah, you, in your ship, fly into the superstructure of this station.
How cool is that?
I feel like this is a proud dad moment. Thank you, Jared.
We're just going to call it what it is. It's a trench run.
Trench run.
So as you enter the structure, you'll see cooling units along the sides that you'll need to take out. There's 3 arms to the station that have these trenches. You'll fly into one, and then there'll be a core in the center.
Looks still kind of looks tight.
You're either gonna do it multiple times,
Very tight.
or you need to bring friends.
Yeah.
At this point, the core is still protected, so these are essentially strafing runs.
There are objects to avoid. You're going to have to be able to dodge. You're going to have to move quickly. You need an agile ship.
Because the shield generator that you're targeting is emitting lots of distortion damage.
So once the cooling units are out, that exposes the core to overheat, which means that you can attack it from the inside and also from exhaust ports on the outside of the station. This core is armored and just takes a whole lot of damage. Once the power core goes down, the turrets come down, and then the capital ships can get closer. Why is that important? Because during all of this, you spend a lot of ammo and munitions and ballistics, and you're going to want to top up.
This is where we're gonna get our new feature in: ship hangar refueling and rearming. You're gonna be able to...
Now, she didn't say repair. I assume maybe we'll get repair. She said ship refueling and rearming. I think we are hoping for the full RRR setup for those ship hangars. I guess that remains to be seen. But I almost think repair would be just as important as refueling, if not more important than refueling.
Well, I mean, part of this is, it goes back to, these are made for org level, at least initially.
Yeah.
These are made for org level operations. So one of the things that we do is, we've been kind of slacking out. We need to get back to it more. Is ensuring that everybody has a repair tool on them.
Yeah,
with a repair canister. We
That's
have
true,
multi-tools with repair canisters on them, ready to go. And then while they are down and refitting and repairing, it takes nothing to get 2 guys out there to just start repairing from nose to end, and then get that ship back out there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think you're going to have to. I just really do hope it's part of the vehicle management app when landing in big ships. I hope they bring that feature to bear. By the way, big shout out to a few people here: Corthius, Unicourse, Danny Hart. Thank you for those follows. Falcon Game with the posture check. Oh, I just heard my back crack. Voyager, Stachio, K Staxo. Hopefully I said that right. 07. Just Pierre, thank you for the follows. Do appreciate that. And our boy GearCon shared 100 biddies 1 minute ago. Thank you very much, GearCon. Appreciate that. Everyone, don't forget we are raising money for St. Jude. Get in on that. Scan the QR code you see on screen. Why not do it? It's a lot of fun. You're helping out a good cause. Okay, the link will pop up right now. There you go. That Tiltify link, you can go there and donate to a number of different raffles, which we're going to go over again here in just a minute. Okay, let's continue.
Land in the hangar of select ships and be able to use the same interface as you are right now at stations to refuel and rearm.
It's specifically for ships like the Idris and the Polaris and other ships that are designed to have other ships land inside them.
Of course, it'll be more than just those 2 ships, and you'll find out more once we get closer to release. But this is a really important feature that we're really excited to get out.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I missed that the first time. A course that will apply to other ships, you'll find out closer to release.
I think it's the Ironclad. I don't see anything else with a big enough hangar.
Yeah. Obviously, the Ironclad isn't really set up around ship refueling, repair, and rearm. Maybe the Assault is a little bit, but that is even primarily focused around ground vehicles, although I'm sure a small ship could do it. Could we be getting another carrier type ship at DefenseCon or Invictus? It's possible. I'm expecting someone in chat to say it, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. I know one of you is going to say it. They're going to go, someone's going to be like, well, it could be the Liberator, and Grimm's going to be proven wrong. It could be. It totally could be. It could be. Blade says Kraken. While the Kraken's interior won't be ready, could the Kraken be somewhere flying around on the edges of that instance area, literally acting as a repair, rearm, refuel spot for ships to land on the deck and get that service?
I think they actually said that the Idris itself, so the People's Idris that's there, the one that's being attacked, you can land on that one.
Okay.
And you can request to land on that one and get rearm and repair then. I don't know how that would work with pulling stuff off the grid, like if it has a limited amount of supplies that are on there, because honestly, if it has an unlimited amount of supplies, I'm going to send all my guys there so I can save all the supplies for my ship.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, in some ways, I hope it has a very limited amount of supplies. Some people are saying, by the way, Caterpillar, Carrick, 890, yeah, for sure. I would expect those ships to have some level of that come with them as well. But yeah, I really hope the NPC one doesn't have an unlimited supply, because this is the first time out of all the events I've ever seen where CIG is reinforcing the idea of bringing a multitude of ships, and I would hate for them to ruin this opportunity. Quick pause here, everyone. $30 from Charlie McAwesome just came in for the brand new Merchantman raffle. And then Brian Havoc, $105 donation towards a Merchantman and Mercury Avenger combo. That's amazing, y'all. I'm giving you, you know what? We got to do it. Bringing it up. Going to do it because I can. Bringing up the 007. Giving you the Grim quadruple salute here. Thank you very much for those donations. Getting the donation train running here.
I think we might have to do one of these.
We owe a bean. Let's switch into a bean. We'll pause here for a second. Let's switch into a bean.
Socially confused. Was like, why not a bean?
Damn it.
Apparently the 007 doesn't.
That's just not enough for these people.
Doesn't cover it anymore.
Oh, you know what? I need to make one of those that is literally 3 frames. It's holds up bean, puts bean in mouth, and then it's, you know, that would be that. I'm going to work on that. That'll literally be my to do tomorrow. Okay, I promise you. I'm going to do that. Okay. All right, let's do a bean, everyone. We've got some donations coming in. You are all amazing. Remember, $15,000 goal. I'm doing an entire stream as Country Grim. Here we go. Art, get your bean ready, son. Art, everyone give Art an 07. Obviously, my show producer been putting together tonight. He put together tonight's show notes for me. I do appreciate it. While he's
within
on camera.
Within like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
within like 10 minutes.
But while he's on camera, it's important for you all to know that Art is doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes to make my job a little bit easier. Here we go, everyone. Pulling it. And I got no bean that time. And no bean that time. And there we go. Okay. Got a bean. Got 2. I'm going to go for 1 at the moment. All right, Art, what'd you get?
I think this is strawberry banana smoothie or dead fish. I'm not excited for this.
Man, I keep getting this. Oh, wait a minute. No. I keep getting the same one. It's either Old Bandage or pomegranate. I've gotten that one 3 times tonight.
Have you went through and
I know.
You gotta shake it once or twice.
Gosh, these are gonna make me sick later tonight. By the way, I've had too many of these today already. All right, here we go, everybody. Bottoms up. Thank you very much for the donations. Please, God. Nope. No, I don't like Old Bandage. It's got a taste of like musty. The word musty. If musty had a taste,
Nope.
it'd be this.
Nope.
No spit outs. Gotta eat it. Yeah.
Have you had the dead fish?
I haven't
you
had
had
that.
that
I haven't had that one yet.
It's
I have not.
It's a treat. The smell just goes up the back of your throat to your nose.
Yeah. Gear,
It's
thank
not
you for those
pleasant.
30 bits. Yeah, it's the worst thing about some of these is you can't swallow them. You can't get them down. Carl B with a $20 donation towards a Mercury and Avenger starter, and Vioblight with a $35 donation. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Do appreciate that. Here's all the flavors, everyone. There's quite a few that probably won't focus, but quite a few flavors. There'll be two beans that look alike, and one's a good flavor, one's a bad flavor. That's how it works. So you don't know what you're getting.
I mean, one's generally okay. not even all great, but one's okay.
Yeah, I can't get this one down.
Oh, it's like stuck on my
Oh,
throat.
damn. No, yep. Mine's stuck on my tooth now, which means I'm going to be tasting it for a while. Ugh. Okay. Thank you. We'll go back to that at some point. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for the donations. We do appreciate it. Don't forget to scan the QR code down below or go to the Tiltify link that'll pop up in chat here in a second. We do have some incredible raffles going on right now, courtesy of GearCon, who is in chat. Make sure you give him an 07. This Wednesday on the 15th, we'll be doing the raffle for the Mercury Star Runner and Avenger Titan starter pack. That you get both of those if you win, everyone. You get both of them, not just one. You get both. GearCon use another 30 bits. Thank you very much, Gear. Let's go back to the tactical strike groups. Get through this video. We're almost done with it, and then we'll start breaking things down and getting back to some more questions.
If you're not bringing your own Idris, the People's Alliance has an Idris there that can provide a safe port in a storm, allow you to set back up and head back out.
And it's a good thing that you've rearmed and refueled too, because now another group of ships is coming to attack the People's Alliance Idris. So while the fighters are protecting the Idris, what's happening at the station? Well, that's where the dropships come in.
Now you've got to take a fire team in. You've got to land, you've got to fight through an onslaught of FPS enemies that belong to this unknown faction, and you've got to open a hangar door which will allow you to release captives from the station. After you've opened the doors and that person's taken off, you've just got to make sure they get to
Interesting
safety.
choice of dropship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would agree.
So at this point, all of this sounds pretty simple, but there's an additional complication.
So up until this point, it's just been you versus the enemies in the station. But the enemies in the station have their own enemies.
The Vanduul neighbors who really don't like these guys for some reason will come in and wreak havoc on everything.
And they're not
The
going to
Vanduul.
discriminate between you and the station. They're out for blood. When you alert the Vanduul by destroying the power core that the station's now vulnerable, you're on a time limit. Vanduul are coming, they're going to come hard, they're going to keep coming, you're going to have one hell of a fight.
There it is, the Mauler. Yeah, I'll go back to that image real quick here. And that's the end of the video here. We'll talk about it. For those wondering, that ship there is the Vanduul Mauler. That is a capital level Vanduul ship. It does have one of those capital killer weapons on it that is up there. What's on the front? I think it deploys other fighters too. There's a shit ton of turrets on it. So yeah, it's a big bad boy. So just heads up on that. All right, let's go ahead and get to some details for this. All right, let me see here. Stand by. Stand by. Oh, we just had a $100 donation from Cleric's Shadow towards the RSI Polaris and RSI Perseus. We do have another Perseus giveaway going on right now, everyone. This one is scheduled to be drawn on Ender's channel, but it is running. You can donate towards it. So even though I did the drawing for the one that it was drawn on my channel, if you missed out on that and do want to have a chance at a Perseus, there is another one going on. It'll be drawn on Ender's channel, though. Okay. Okay. Let me go back to my notes. Let me get to that. It's in the, where did we put that again? Okay, I found it.
It's in the,
yes.
It's in the thread.
Got it. Thank you. Okay, let me move this around a little bit here. Hold on a minute, everyone. Okay, everybody. So the tactical strike groups, okay? This is a high-intensity multi-phase cooperative mission set in the Nyx system, planned for release this year. The last we heard, it's coming in, possibly coming for 4.8, which again would be that Invictus window. We don't know if that's before Invictus or after Invictus, but it's that 4.8 patch cycle. I think we can say that, okay, which does include period of time after Invictus, okay? It emphasizes combined arms gameplay, requiring players to coordinate different ship roles, fighters, bombers, capital ships, and FPS elements. So we'll break down things here a little bit, but before we do that, and JoJo TV is right here. It's something I've said a few times on stream as well. The Mauler is roughly, he says, 480 meters long, so about the size of a javelin. Yeah, that's the last measurements we had. Once it's in the game client files, we will pull the ship and put it into Fleet Viewer, and we'll get an accurate measurement of how big it is. But based off information we have, it is, and I can tell you where a lot of that information came from. It kind of came from this here. I'll pull this up. Okay, and you can see that the Mauler, which is that ship in question, is 486 meters long. It says so right here. But this one right here is the Mauler. Okay, 486 meters, just to give you an idea. The Javelin is 480 meters long. So it's Javelin size, okay? For those that are curious. Before we kind of start breaking stuff down, though, I guess I want to open it up. Art, what's your thoughts on the tactical strike groups overall? Is this something that excites you? And then I'll kind of give my thoughts on it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm totally stoked for this. I mean, for the longest time, we've been trying to organize, as organizations, we've been trying to organize, large group gameplay against, events.
Yeah.
Most recently, Rockbreaker and stuff.
Yeah.
But it a lot of times, especially when you're looking at the PAF sites with the orbitals and all that other stuff, you can bring some variety, but it's pretty much bring a couple big ships and kind of just threaten everything around you, and you'll be okay for the most part, unless you're, low in atmosphere and get bombed and stuff like that. But there's generally a kind of a idea of what to bring.
Yeah.
This kind of throws all that out the window, and it's really nice that you have to plan for kind of everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like most events that Star Citizen has done has really sort of been centered around, in many ways, been centered around this this game. Like, there's always something that can be gamified to make it easier to be done, either with a particular ship or especially with a capital ship. And obviously, I think this is really the first time we've seen content put into the game that specifically penalizes certain ships at certain times and gives those same ships advantages at certain times. You know what I mean? It's not just like, oh, bring X ship to this event because it wins. It's, hey, there's times during this event, phases during this event, where this ship where this ship shines, and other phases of this event where it doesn't shine. And that's really the first time we've seen anything like that. Even events like Xenothreat, the I forget what are those called. The ground surface ones. I forget. Anyways, all the events, I've always ever sort of just took the one ship to. Maybe it was a fighter that time because that's all I wanted to fly, or maybe it was like during some of the events that have gone the past 12 months. I know a lot of orgs that are just like, okay, take out the Idris. We're going to go plow through a bunch of these missions in the Idris real quick, which is great, obviously. But this one really utilizing everything. So, one interesting thing about this that I want to bring up that comes to mind when I think about this event is the setup, that initial logistical setting up, getting your ship crewed, getting everyone to set their spawn points within the Idris medical room, right? Because what if you die in an instance event? We don't know what the result of that is. You know what I mean? We don't know if by default you just wake up in one of your ship's medical beds, or do you need to set that location? I would imagine you do need to set that imprint. And then obviously crewing the ships, getting those ships, everyone on board, properly crewed and stuff. So that's like the big question mark for me. I mean, again, the way I think it's going to work is you're going to be out in the normal open verse. You're going to do all that setup, med beds, action items, getting everyone's imprint on the Idris or whatever, wherever it's going to be. And then you're going to all be in space. And just like you would fly to an event location, whether it's Xeno Threat over by Jericho or wherever, you're going to accept the tactical strike group's mission. There'll be a marker somewhere out in Nyx. And when you're in Nyx and jump to that marker, there's going to be a moment where you do a transition, just like how you, with the server meshing right now, you're going to do a transition that puts you in the instance scenario. And I think that's ultimately how it will work. Okay.
Well, I mean, and it goes back to like preparation and stuff like that. So, I don't want to give away too much on our org side of things, but a lot of times when we have a big operation coming up, we actually create another operation ahead of that, generally the day before. And we kind of set up for prepping, and that's for prepping ships, getting ships ready. If there's stuff that we're taking on our Nidris, we get those loaded. If there's boxes, we get those loaded, so that when we jump in, it's roughly 30 to 45 minutes to get everybody where they need to be, because you always have stragglers. And then we're off to the races on everything. Now we plan for CIG to CIGS every once in a while, and something not come up, or something get, doesn't show up like it should, or things go missing. But you're going to start seeing more of these. So I think we're going to need to get in the habit of prepping more when it comes to these operations. Yeah, I agree. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Real quick, everyone, I am going to check, because I saw someone post in chat about the Hull B giveaway. Did it end? Let me check. I think it did end, but let me check. It ended. Yes. Okay. Stand by. I'm checking something. Because we got a little bit of a late start, I'm actually going to give it a little bit more time. Yeah, give it like maybe, I don't know, 20 more minutes. 19 minutes. Let's do 19. You know what? Nice round number. I'm going to give it 30 minutes. It's going to make it 9 p.m. Well, wait a minute. No, 9 p.m. is 20 more minutes. Okay, yeah, I'm going to give it 20 more minutes. Thank you. Okay. I was like, I mean, I could do 30 more minutes. Yes, but it's gonna. So the Hull B is a weird time. Yeah, the Hull B is reactive. Okay, that is reactive for those of you who want to get into that. It ends in 20 minutes. Okay, so you didn't miss it. You can still get in on it now. I think we have that link out there. Yeah. And don't forget, everyone, as a matter of fact, actually, let me pause real quick and swing over real quick. I want to remind everybody, yes, we do have the Hull B giveaway going on. You can scan that QR code right there, or you can go to the Gleam link that the Art just posted. Get in on that while you can. Okay, that's going to be ending in 20 minutes. I'll do the drawing live on stream. So that's all cool. We'll do that. And then don't forget, we're doing the helmet. Yep, we're going to do the helmet right after that one, or soon after. This will be for the Sapphire Skull helmet.
I do owe one of these to VFGP. VFGP, if you're watching, I'll send that out later tonight. But this will be for the Sapphire helmet. If you're over on YouTube and you want to get in on this giveaway, all you got to do is go to the link pinned to chat. It's a link that I pinned to chat. Go there. It's my new player guide video. All you got to do is leave a comment on that video. It can be a single word. And then if you're on Twitch, all you can do is exclamation ticket or exclamation ticket space max. I'm going to pull both people I'm going to pull the winner from the YouTube, winner from the Twitch. I'm going to put you in the random wheel of names. I'm going to spin it, and the winner wins the helmet. So you got to jump through a lot of hoops, but it's a lot of fun. Okay. All right, back to this. Let me swing back over here. Okay. So, outer perimeter fighter waves, the mission kicks off with defending a friendly ship or fleet element that's under attack. Idris was what was shown in the vid. So again, yeah, there's going to be something about a friendly ship starting to be attacked. Okay, players face multiple successive waves of enemy fighters. Nothing new there. I think this is where ships like the fighters are going to excel. This is a phase where ships like even larger ships like the Hammerhead could really shine. Okay, this is their moment. Okay. The phase is designed for light, medium, and heavy fighters to shine. Well, it says right there. Players handle dogfighting, screening, and clearing the immediate area. Again, I would add on to that ships like the Hammerhead. Okay. It sets the stage for larger fleet coordination and tests your fighter escort screening skills right from the start. Fighter escort scanning skills, I think is what that was supposed to say. Either way, this is going, it's going to be interesting because one of the things that we're going to have to sort of figure out probably through testing, much like you would run a raid in WoW or something like that, is we're going to start to have to figure out, okay, how many fighters do we need to take? You know what I mean? Like for your, and what are they broken up into squadrons? Is it 20 fighters? Do you need 50 fighters? We don't really know what that metric is. We also don't know if the event itself dynamically can scale based off how many players you bring in. And what I mean by that is what if there's a big org out there that just is like, oh, we're maxing it out. We're going to have a ton of people and it's cakewalk. You know what I mean? I don't know. Thoughts on that?
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, again, it goes back to how do you want to split your fighter group up? You know, are you going to have anti-fighters set up? Then you're going to have your fighter bombers, and is that going to be the same pilot who's then going to go back to a ship to, like a carrier, to swap out fighters and jump in and come back out, in another one? Or are we going to have, and the one thing they mentioned that I'd like to go back to on the capital ship killer gun is. They say they ignore fighters, but where is that line drawn? Because I wonder if something like a Paladin is safe. Where in that scale of ships are we looking for to get into to kind of neutralize those batteries?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean. And that's sort of the interesting thing about this is that a lot of the ships, roles, sizes, and stuff haven't been tested in this way before. You know what I mean? We've never really had an event that sort of puts these ships in situations that they were designed for. Does that make sense? And yeah. I really do think that this is going to be a place where these ships get a lot of tuning and CIG does a lot of, what they do where they do the archetype tuning. I see that being a place for this to happen. So
I definitely think this is where they're going to balance a lot of things. Armor, they're going to balance, fire rates, turret ranges. I think are also going to get balanced here for the capital ships.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and that goes into things like, for example, what is the range of that capital killer Vanduul weapon? And that's going to affect things like what is the standoff distance for our capital ships, because they can't be near that thing when it's active. You're going to have to get those fighters in there doing their part first, right? So let's continue moving on here to phase 2 of this event, which is known as the Power Relay Assault or something therein. After clearing the initial fighter waves, the focus shifts to heavily fortified enemy space to a heavily fortified enemy space station. Okay, that's the station you're seeing here. The station is protected, and I'd be interested to know if does that take place in the same area? Do we have to jump to it? You know, again, wondering what this instanced areas kind of looks like from a real estate standpoint, right? How big it is. Yeah. Says here the station is protected by powerful defenses, including heavy weapon emplacements, some of which can one-shot capital ships, or so we think, based off the video, and shields powered by relays and slash generators. Bombers and torpedo-equipped ships or dedicated strike craft must assault and destroy the power relays to weaken or drop the station's shields and disable the big turrets. Okay, makes sense. So essentially, you're going to disable the power nodes that power those big turrets. Those big turrets are the things keeping your capital ships at bay. Okay, so those strike aircraft are going to be key for that. I think you're going to really start seeing ships like the Eclipse, the Retaliator play a big role in those moments. As a matter of fact, I could really see the Eclipse playing a big role here with its stealth capabilities and the ability to drop, 2 size 9 torps, I believe. And then it says here, capital ships and larger vessels can't safely engage until these threats are neutralized, highlighting the need for role specialization. So again, you see right there, just in the first 2 phases, primary is going to be light fighters in phase 1, or light, medium, heavy fighters in phase 1, with the addition of Hammerhead engaging a bunch of fighters as well. Phase 2 are sort of those strike ships, right? So I'm thinking here probably ships like the Inferno. I'm probably the Iron and the Inferno, or at least the Inferno with its ballistic weapons. Stuff like the Retaliator for sure, the Eclipse, and I think there's many others. And then from a support standpoint, you're still going to have the capital ships far in the rear, being used for repair, rearm, refuel services, right? So again, even though there's other ships sort of taking the lead role in those phases, the capital ships aren't out of the game at that point. You're doing support services, which we all know is a part of their, their mission that has been outlined for them as support ships. $100 donation from Fire M towards the Polaris and Perseus. Fire M, thank you very much for that donation, pushing us to 14,566 Doleros. FMZ Canis, thank you for subscribing with Prime. I appreciate that. Salute to you. And thank you for the follows, everyone. Pops, Sadistic, Death Sparks, Steel Horse. That's an incredible donation, Fire. We really appreciate it. Cleric Shadow earlier with another $100 donation. We really appreciate that. Remember, everyone, when I hit $15,000 raised, I will do a stream as my alter ego, Country Grim. Really appreciate your generosity tonight, everyone. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Little hint, by the way, if the donations keep going well, we're going to reveal something that I think will shock you. Okay. May not reveal it tonight. Won't reveal it tonight because we got to get some final info, but from CIG, but big announcement.
It's exciting.
Coming soon.
It's exciting.
Big announcement. Okay. All right. Moving on. Iconic trench run. This is the 3rd phase, okay? Iconic trench run inside the station superstructure. Once the outer defenses are down, players fly into the station's superstructure for a classic trench run. So you're going to be doing this in your small, fighters and all that kind of stuff. Maybe you're brave enough to get a Retaliator in there. I don't know.
Did you realize how quick? Now, granted, this is all cinematic, and we understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But did you see how quick like that lock on and firing was for those missiles in the trench itself?
Yeah.
Like
Why does this keep coming up?
So I wonder if that's going to be a
sorry, everybody. Stupid YouTube.
A thing where we're going to get a quicker lock on option for shorter ranges for this trench run.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be able to acquire targets a lot quicker.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that could have been done obviously for cinematic purposes, but yeah, I mean, again, you're going to, I mean, based off the trench run that we're showing, I mean, it really is It looks tighter.
very tight.
It looks tight. I mean, you're going to have to pilot really well. You're going to want a solid lock on. You're going to want to, I imagine this is not just going to be something someone does from the first time and just nails it. You know what I mean? So yeah. It says here.
Dumbfire launching. So, I mean,
Yeah.
could we get a new dumbfire missile?
Maybe. Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Very
Says here,
interesting.
once the outer defenses are down, players fly into the sea. Okay, I said that. Fighters and bombers navigate a tight, hazardous corridor inside the station while avoiding obstacles, turrets, and defensive fire. Really cool. The goal is typically to disable key internal systems or reach a critical target point deep inside the structure. The phase is visually spectacular and demands precise flying under pressure. Now, I would assume that at this stage, when that is happening, you have your capital ships, your drop ships, and all that preparing themselves to land and drop off people for the FPS element of this. So again, you got to think not just action, boom, 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 boom. You got to think about those moments too where you're prepping for the next
stage.
phase. And all this is going to be
Absolutely.
happening in parallel. So while that group's doing that trench run, trust me, there's going to be other stuff for the other groups to do. They got to get ready to push further into that fourth phase, right? The fourth phase being that boarding FPS phase. Okay, it says here, after or during the trench run, so you may be able to do it during, the mission transitions to boarding actions. Drop ships or landing craft deliver players to FPS combat inside the station. Objectives include hostage rescue, recovering People's Alliance pilots or civilians, and clearing enemy forces room by room. Let me ask a big question. How are we dealing with NPCs that we have to recover? That's kind of interesting, right?
Someone else had mentioned that in chat. I actually put it down in the bottom there. Ray gun,
Yeah.
that how huge that is that we're going to have NPCs
Yeah.
boarding ships.
I won't lie, I'm a little concerned because that does it's feature tech, but
It's the one thing that's going to bug the most.
it's the one thing that's going to bug the most. And another thing is, does that mean maybe, like Genentine says, maybe they'll be in cryopods, maybe they also are just in restraints, and when they are in restraints, we have the ability to move them and position them around, right? Don't know. That's interesting. We'll have to see. That could be a big thing right there. Does that hint towards future bounty hunting gameplay? Things like restraints, non-lethals, all that kind of stuff? We don't know.
Also, the other point that I liked in that little area there was that trooper sliding. Are we going to get sliding to cover as a maneuver?
I think we will get it. If it will be for this, we don't know, but I think it's interesting they made a point to show that moment.
Right.
But
Besides it looking cool.
Yeah. Two more facts here with the boarding FPS phase, and then I'm going to force Art to do another beam. It says here, objectives include hostage. I said that one. Fighter pilots may even disembark temporarily to support the ground and FPS team, blending ship combat with on-foot gameplay. That's going to be pretty cool. Okay. I assume that on the station there's places to land, disembark, and enter the station proper. Again, I fully assume these are stations we have not seen before, something specifically new, right?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Camera issues.
You're just blurring because you're going to hold
I'm
up
blurring
an
because I'm all over the
You're
place.
going to hold up a peanut M&M instead of a bean. I already know it. I already know what you're going to do.
That was the plan.
While we're doing the bean, everyone, again, do not forget St. Jude raffle currently going on. Get in on that by scanning the QR code down below or clicking that Tiltify link that just popped up. We have a number of raffles going on right now. You can see the ticket prices right there. By donating that amount of money, you can click on a particular raffle when you go to the Tiltify link and get a ticket for that giveaway. You can see the days we do the raffle drawings there. We already did a Perseus, but there is another Perseus on there to get in on. Ender will be doing that on his channel, Dad Bod Bard. And then Star Runner, the Mercury Star Runner and Avenger Titan Starter Pack combo will be doing this Wednesday. So get in on that. But there's also a Polaris drawing, a Hammerhead drawing, a Merchantman drawing, and I can promise you some surprises for this month as well. Okay, here we go. We're beaning it up here. Art, crack it open, bud. Crack it open. We got some awesome donations over here in the last little bit. NX
It's
Lone
worth it.
Wolf, thank you for the follow. Killian, FMZ, Steel Horsick, Death Spark. Appreciate those follows earlier. Here we go. Grabbing the old bean. I got 2 here. I'm choosing 1.
Oh, I got 2 as well. I don't know which one's better.
Okay, here we go.
Is there a better one? I
Let
guess
me
I'll go
see
with this
what
one.
color this is. I'm a little worried about this one because I haven't seen this color before. This is a little concerning. This is a little concerning. What is this? Oh, God. This is
Is it
either...
the stink bug?
I'm going to hold it up. This is either...
Yep.
Strawberry banana smoothie or dead fish, maybe?
Is it the gray? Is it the gray and brown, or is it? I guess I'm asking a colorblind person to tell me.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you no hope, unfortunately. Is that pink or gray? I guess it could be stink bug or roasted marshmallow, which I
think it's that one.
Yeah, I think it's the stink bug or toasted marshmallow. I can tell you right now, the toasted marshmallow is not good either, in my opinion. So I'm going to be shit out of luck on this one here. This is not going to be good for me.
Teacher barf for me.
Oh, great. Good. Have you gotten that one yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You sounded very resigned.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Put it up here. Thank you for those donations. Keep those donations going in. Let's see if we can crack $15,000 raised. Bottoms up. Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. That's pretty yummy. Ooh.
It's barf. It's so barf. Get it? Oh.
Oh, no. That's strawberry banana smoothie. I was right. That is strawberry banana smoothie. That's pretty good. How's that barf doing there, Art?
Not good, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even like, this is like the one like your throat is raw. Barf. Yeah.
Man, this is pretty yummy. This is really good. I like it. Thank you. This is delicious bean. Y'all, I appreciate it. RG Canis just donated $30 towards a Merchantman. RG, thank you very much. We are almost at 14,600. RG pushing us up a little further. This community kicking ass like they always do, everyone. Salute for these donations tonight. I appreciate it. Will we get to 15,000 tonight? It's possible. It's possible.
If you chew, it possibly gets stuck in your teeth, but if you just let it sit there, then it sits on your tongue. It's not good.
Yeah.
It's all bad.
This is good. Like I could eat a bag of these. These are delicious. This is the strawberry banana smoothie. It doesn't smell great because it's been in the can full of bad smelling beans. Because by the way, everyone, this can of beans stinks to high heaven. But this is pleasant. This is pleasant. While we're answering these, let's do a few questions. Let's get a few questions here. I was stuck in my tooth.
That's eye-watering.
90 says, question, do you think the Van Duel Mauler will have an interior? No, I don't think it will. Unless there's some sort of boarding action with it. Cindy says I'm rubbing it in. That is true. I did have lunch with Art this weekend though. And
what a great time.
Yeah, it was a good time. Not the best chicken tenders I've ever had, if I'm being honest.
No. No, they were not.
And slow ass service, if I'm being honest.
Oh, like we waited for a refill forever.
Really got to find a good place that's halfway in between us that's good. That was not it.
We'll find one.
We'll find one. Okay. Next here. Do we know if there will be this is from Killer Tank. Do we know if there will be rep requirements for the Tactical Strike Group missions?
The last couple have had them.
Yeah.
Not high, but they've had them.
Yeah. And by the way, everyone, I do think the whole be ended. So we are going to do that giveaway shortly. It has ended though. Okay. It has ended. But we'll do it very shortly, maybe about 10 minutes. I hope it doesn't. And here's why I hope it doesn't have a reputation block. Because you're going to need a lot of people to get into your instance group to help play it. And if every single one of them has to go through some sort of rep push, it just makes it harder to test. I don't mind there being a rep requirement when we're in 1.0, right? And it's a full-on event. But in a testing environment where the primary goal is to actually test it and work out the multitude of bugs this event's going to have, I guarantee you, I really think they should just open it up and let people join it however they want. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
that's my thinking.
Well, here's the thing too is they've never, like, if I had no rep in something and somebody has the rep and they get the mission and they share it with me, I get the mission.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to necessarily get gatekeeped by a huge amount.
Yeah.
But even then, it's an opportunity to get a couple people in and go run a couple, combat missions in a ship, build the rep up, or send, do what some of us do sometimes, and that's we pick, there's 4 or 5 of us that go out.
Yeah.
And we each pick up a mission, and then we just share it with that guy, and he gets 5 mission completed in the time it takes us to do 1.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, in many ways, CIG sometimes, or not CIG, people sometimes accuse me a little bit of being a CIG white knighter, but I actually think I criticize them quite a bit. And I will say, hey, there's the little art. I will say that 100% this game is still in testing. Okay. It needs to be tested. And to test it, we need people to do the content. Okay. So personally, I hope CIG in the testing environment opens up these gates more so that we can actually test it. Okay. Especially an event like this where we don't know the player count. We just don't, right? So that's something that's top of mind for me. By the way, everyone, I added another 15 minutes to the whole B giveaway. We're about to do it, but I want to give you a few more minutes. I can end it whenever, but we're going to do that giveaway here in about 5-10 minutes. Okay. But you can still get in it if you want to. Okay. All right. Going back to my notes here that Art made for me. It's very nice of him. Phase 5, the climactic Vandal fleet arrival and final extraction. Just as things seem under control, a massive Vandal fleet arrives as reinforcements, turning the mission into a chaotic 3-way battle. Players versus station remnants versus Vandal. That's going to be insane. This leads to a large-scale fleet engagement involving capital ships, fighters, and support vessels. Again, I think the capital ships will be engaging the Vandal Mauler. Okay. So your Idrises, your Polarises, your Perseuses, you are going to be focused on the Mauler itself. Okay. The final involves, go ahead.
Do you think it's going to have, I think it's going to have that shield emitter. I think it's going to be, this is our big bad. This is going to be the one that it's going to have that emitter. So we may still need some sort of fighter bomber to pierce that. Unless we get lucky with a good shot, but
Exactly. I think it's going to be, I think the takedown the Mauler is going to be a little bit of a multi-phase sort of takedown. It's not just going to be hitting it with everything. I think there's going to be a bit of a progression there in how you take it down. Again, we haven't seen this in game yet, ever. So this is going to be a big new challenge for the players. Okay. Says here, it culminates in a high-stakes escape while the full fleet regroups and battles the incoming Vandal forces. Again, this is kind of interesting. So you're battling Vandal forces, but then it comes down to sort of a high-stakes escape. You remember how I talked about having to jump into the event, right? Into the instance group? I think that's how you get out of the instance group. You're going to jump out. You're going to do a quantum jump out of it, and that will transition you out of the instance scenario and into regular Nick space again, with mission complete, right? Okay. So that is the tactical strike groups I want to get to. We do have some questions, and then we're going to do our giveaways, everybody. Questions, then giveaways. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and plow through some of these. Gin and Tonic says, Grim, how's the knee? The knee's doing pretty good. Stairs still suck. And getting in a car is still challenging. But walking around, all that, it's going quite well. I'm pretty happy with it. By the way, this whole B giveaway, again, courtesy of CIG, thanks CIG, pretty popular. A lot of people have entered this one. Okay. Artemis, or sorry, who is this? Tim's 4201 on YouTube says, question, could they bring in the Vulcan? Apparently it has refuel, repair, rearm. That's a great question. I would say no, because the Vulcan does all that through drones. It does all that through drones, and we don't have drones. And I think the first drones, again, we're going to get, going back to what CIG told us, is base building drones, right? So we just don't have them yet. Okay. Says here, stand by. I lost him. Here we go. Killer Tank says, how many players is a tactical strike group mission designed for? Oh, good question. Art, do you have a speculation on that?
On the requirement or a good round number?
Good round number. Like how many players, not how many versus, like enemy NPCs you're dealing with, but how many players do you think enter this instanced thing?
I mean, I don't think they're going to put a cap on it. I really don't. But I think
it's going to be a shark
from
cap,
I think a good estimate would be probably 20 to 40 players would be a good round number for an operation of this size.
Do you want my estimation?
Sure.
I think it's going to be 500. You know why I think that? Oh, real quick, we got some donations in. Let me get to these. Oh, I missed a few of these. RG Canis with a $30 donation. Thank you very much. The Grand Nismo with another 30. Was that 35 or? Yeah, $35 donation. Unicourse with a $20 donation and $20 from Tim. Thank you so much, everyone. Pushing us to $14,671. Lil Art, I can tell, is impressed by that. I could just tell. Art, not so much. No, Art's very impressed. Lil Art, even more impressed. Got a train. I like it. Yeah, thank you, everyone, for those donations. That's incredible. Thank you very much, everyone. Pushing us ever so closer to the $15,000 goal. Man, I'd love to hit $15,000 tonight. But you've all been so incredibly generous. We already owe you yet another bean. We're going to get to that. Thank you for those donations. Again, calling those people out. Canis, the Grand Nismo, Unicourse, and Tim, thank you for your donations. That is incredible. Thank you for the generosity. Going to a great cause, St. Jude, helping sick kids and their families. Remember, every kid treated at St. Jude and their family, they do not pay a dime while there. That is all done through your donations. None of the money you are donating comes to STARJUMP in any way. I don't touch any of it. It doesn't come to us. It goes straight from your donation through Tiltify to St. Jude. So you can donate with confidence, okay? So thank you very much. I do appreciate that. I think it's going to be 500, Art, and I think it's going to be 500 because I think that they're just going to go by this. Well, if you think about it, if you have an Idris, Perseus is out there, a Polaris, you got a Hammerhead battling, a multitude of fighters, right away, your crew count is through the roof, right? If you think about it.
Yeah, I guess my numbers, honestly, I'm kind of basing them off of what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
With the you're not crewing everything, you're not filling everything, and again, we're going to go back and forth with, your gunners can also be your repair guys. And you can kind of bounce guys back and forth as needed.
That's something else I didn't think about. Talk about a situation where engineering is going to really get some testing, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
You're definitely going to have to deal with engineering on this. Yeah.
That's so Devram. Thank you for the follow. Shikaku Unlimited Spade Works. Lone Wolf. Thank you for those follows. It's appreciated. GearCon, thanks for the bits. Appreciate that. It's really interesting. I can't wait to see how certain things get tested more as we go along through this event.
And this is only the start of what they're wanting to do.
Yeah.
With these tactical ops. So we can get a lot.
We could see more.
A lot of different. VMXEO mentioned something about maybe a ground-based one where we're not going to be able to have. You get that initial push, get those drop ships down, get the ground vehicles down, almost like, what is that, Pyro? Mm-hmm. Which one is it with the irradiated Valacar?
I forget the Stormbreaker or something.
Yeah.
Well, 100%. And there could be future ones that combine combat with industrial aspects stuff too. I mean, in many ways, Xenothreat could be turned into an instanced tactical strike group op. You know what I mean? Xenothreat would be perfect for that. Or a redone version of Xenothreat, right? Garflog643 says, question, why doesn't Fleet Viewer work on mobile anymore? Well, the short answer to that is never really supposed to work on mobile. The first version just kind of did. Now that much more functionality has been added to it, it's kind of pushed it beyond the ability for mobile to properly or to be a good platform for it. The mobile thing still does come up in conversations with me and Starlet. I think there are a number of problems to deal with on mobile. In terms of just the way Fleet Viewer works. I think if we were going to have a Fleet Viewer, or like if Fleet Viewer was to work on mobile, I think it would have to be sort of a mobile version of Fleet Viewer that has less features. So maybe that in the future. I don't know. To see how Starlet's feeling. Ruger Blood Moon says, do you think this can lead this to tactical ground op where ships can't get close to the guns and need members of the ground vehicles to take targets spread out? Yeah, I mean, actually, if you go back to what they first showed us with the sandworms, the Apex sandworms, it was very much that. Remember, the ground vehicles had to go in first and deal with the worm and all that. I forget all the details around that, but they kind of talked about that before. So I do think that's very popular, or very possible and popular. Skywatch says, are the instance missions like this and the returning Siege of Orson going to always be there after release? Yes, I think so. I think they said that. Robert Vose, thanks for resubscribing with Prime. Appreciate you. Raygun972 says, in the tactical group mission, we will have NPCs that we have to rescue, so they'll have to board our ship for evac. Isn't that a huge thing? NPC transport coming soon if this goes well? It sure makes you wonder. And the big question for that comes down to, and Art, by the way, I know you got stuff going. We're going a little long, so if you need to hop off, please do. But I mean, it goes back to what me and Art were saying. That's the big question mark. Are the NPCs we're rescuing under our control, or do they have their own AI pathing that will direct them on board our ship? That will tell us. If they can path themselves, maybe we are looking at an advancement in AI that we weren't considering. If they are in some sort of restraint, cryopod, whatever, then maybe what we're actually looking at is more of like bounty hunting kind of features coming into the game. Okay, a few more questions here, and then we'll do the giveaway. Quinn says, kill them all and ask questions later. Quinn, that is a loving and empathetic way to deal with those people in the verse, those bad guys. I appreciate that. Thank you, buddy. Zidozer says, question, is it possible, in your opinion, the shimmer paint will be released for more ships/vehicles? That's that kind of like Asperia looking paint that came out for the Aurora Mark II. I'll tell you this, it sure seems like one of those paints that would be for multiple vehicles. It's got a little bit of a pearlescent kind of look, almost like one of those color shifting looks. Yes, I think we'll get more shimmer paints for sure. I do. I was actually thinking that recently. Okay, let's see. Got two more questions here, everybody. Then we'll do the giveaway. Eagle0013 says, question, do you think the new refueler hinted at will have rearm capacity as well? I don't know. That's a good question.
That would be interesting, because they did say there was a new refueler coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they would have said rearm with refueling.
The reason I don't think it is because we have heard about the updates and changes and quality of life fixes coming to refueling as we know it. And as we know it, it's done with the refueling boom arm via the Starfarer. Personally, what I think is the refueler is not a ship you land on to get services. I think it's a ship that has a refueling boom.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. I think if it was a ship that you could land on and get all those services, I don't know if I'd refer to it as a refueler, because that seems a little limiting to just call it a refueler in that regard. If it can repair, rearm, and all that, to me, that is now a support ship, right? So I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's just what I think. Last question tonight, everybody. Then we're going to do those amazing giveaways. Keep it secret says, is the Merchantman coming out before 1.0? Yes. Yes, it's coming out before 1.0. Why do I think that?
Maybe. Well, they did say they were going to go back to working on it here relatively not too long ago, didn't they?
Yes. I don't think that the Merchantman was ever intended to like be a 1.0 ship or after. I think, again, it was in development at one point. The only reason that the Merchantman didn't get picked back up is because, for those that don't know the story here behind this, I'll give you a little inside baseball. If you didn't already know this, this isn't like private information. This has been out there. There's a lot of people that know this information. But essentially what happened is the previous art director for the ship's team, Paul Jones, who you all will remember in an early episode of STARJUMP Station, we interviewed Paul Jones. He wrote a really great book. Paul's a great dude. Him and a good chunk of his team who were at that time working on the Merchantman, they left. Paul specifically moved to Canada and started working at Ubisoft. Now, one interesting thing, and I have no clue if this is happening, I do think it's interesting that Paul has now left Ubisoft and is heading back to Manchester. That's very interesting. Now, I'm not saying he's going back to CIG, but we do know the ship team's growing. We do know that Ben Curtis, who's awesome, I love Ben Curtis, is currently the art director, senior art director, or whatever the title is there for ships and FPS weapons. I could easily see a scenario, though, where there's 2 art directors to pump out more ships, to oversee more ships. I imagine Ben Curtis has his hands full right now. Maybe that's why the Merchantman will go into pre-production, hopefully go into pre-production later this year, as John Cruz said. Or maybe that's all wild, crazy, hopium speculation, and Paul Jones isn't coming back. And it's still going to be the... but yet even still, the Merchantman could go back into pre-production. I mean, they want to work on it. The reason they stopped is because the team that was working on it left. They had to stop. There's really no other choice, right? So, okay, everybody. What to do? What to do? It's whole big
we got to do a giveaway.
We do.
That's what we got to do.
It's whole
well, we got to do a
giveaway.
bean first.
We do have to do a bean. We do have to do a bean. And real quick, while we get the beans ready, I'm just going to get something up. Okay, just got to get something up. Okay. All right, everybody, let's do a bean. Okay, let's switch over
That's
here.
Disappointing. That's very disappointing.
Okay. All right, let me know when you're ready there, Art.
Wet dog or banana, sir?
Okay, I am pulling.
And I've been hitting fouls all
You've been hitting
day.
fouls all night. I've had a couple of good ones. Everyone, you're amazing with the donations. Please keep donating. We do appreciate, again, this money going to sick kids, babies, battling cancer. I mean, just effing horrible. It's horrible. But groups like St. Jude, they're supporting them and their family with the proper treatment. They never have to pay a dime. Your money's going to a great cause, everyone. STARJUMP now raising over $55,229 lifetime dollars raised. It's incredible.
Citizen Groza has got the dad joke of the stream.
Whole bean.
Whole bean.
Oh, very nice, Citizen Groza. Very, very nice.
Gold
okay.
star.
I can tell you right now, I've got either burnt rubber or licorice. It's a burnt rubber.
I hope it's rubber for you.
I mean,
You've had it too good.
I've had it very good tonight. Very good. It doesn't smell like
even with
licorice.
even with Little Grim.
Yeah.
Even with Little Grim.
I had it pretty good. I had it pretty good. All right. There we go, everybody. Are you ready, Art? What are yours again?
Wet dog or banana.
Oh, good. Here we go. Bottoms
Yeah,
up. 3,
hit the
2,
trifecta.
1, down the hole. It's burnt rubber.
Wet dog. Daggone it.
Yeah. Well, you got me this time, man. It's burnt rubber. Oh, man, that's a bad one. This is the one that makes your spit taste really bad. Yeah, it does leave an aftertaste, Gear. It really does.
Next stream I'm not gonna do cam, so I don't have to do beans.
You have to. Yeah, prove you do it. You gots to do it. Sandgroper says, bet Art's liking his choice to join Graham on stream. I never said it was going to be easy.
Nope.
See, the burnt rubber one is one of those ones that it's hard to even, you don't even want to chew it. You end up sucking on it, which then is extra nasty. So then you just start thinking about, can I swallow this thing? But you can't even do that. Your body's rejecting it. Okay. Everyone, if you want a good time, you're sitting around with your friends, you're having a few drinks, you don't know what to do with yourself, do what Art did and buy Bean Boozle. It's a fun game to play with your friends. It's fun to do during St. Jude. What Art doesn't know
so many iterations.
What Art doesn't know, though, is I got something extra cruel for May. Yeah. I'm going to pick up this other question here while I'm trying to get this down. Zig79 says, when are you going to sell STARJUMP merch? I am so glad you asked, Ziggs, because I do finally have some news on that. I have been working on a new merch store. I could technically launch it now with a few items for sure, including the hat you see here. Okay. However, I'm probably going to wait another week because I'm making a couple really special items for it. One of those is the Kraken Captain mug. I'm slightly redesigning it. I had the design and then I saw something that was a little too similar, so I'm redesigning that slightly and making sure it's safe to sell. Obviously, I can't impede on any of CIG's IP visually, their IP in any way. I can't get this damn bean down. So that's close. And I have another fun item too. But yes, Thorn, you wouldn't be wrong. May is when I can't eat this thing, is when I'm planning to get it out there to everybody. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I gotta get this damn thing down. Okay. It won't go down. Okay, we're gonna continue. It will not go down. I'm sorry, everyone. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, here we go. Let's go to actually, Keep It Secret says, please wait for after the charity drive. May do that. What I might do, because I know that would possibly could take money away. If I did launch during the charity drive, what I would do is all the profit for anything sold would go to the St. Jude Tiltify link. However, I probably will wait till after the charity drive. But what I want to do is show the store. You won't be able to buy anything off of it yet, but I want to show the store in May. That's kind of the current plan. Okay.
I had
and we'll give some things for giveaway. Yeah.
You were kind enough to give me a hat, and then I let my son wear it, and now I can't find it.
Art kept his merch. Art kept his merch for literally a day. It's okay. I got plenty.
Well, I wore the hat home, and my son met me at the car and was like, "What is that?" And I said, "Well, Dad went to meet with his friend for lunch.
It's a sweet new hat.
And I got a hat."
There you go.
And he's like, "Can I try it on?" And I was like, "Sure." I have not seen it since.
Everyone, I'm going to answer this next one here. Dillman says, question, did either of you pick up the whole B for your fleet? While I'm getting the giveaway stuff set up, I will send that question to you, Art. Did you get the whole B for your fleet?
I did not.
Why not?
I'm not a hauler. Although I did think of some stuff I would like to test, and I'm going to get with some of my org mates that have it and be like, hey, I'm going to borrow your ship.
Yeah.
Real quick. But I know with things rearm, repair, all that stuff's coming in. I always plan for backup tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that if you unlock your ports on ships like the Gladiator
Mhm,
on
mhm,
things
mhm.
like the Super Hornet
Yeah.
that you can pull the missile rack off and put a fresh missile rack on with missiles already loaded onto the rack for a quick rearm.
Yeah.
So I could see
Yeah.
throwing some of those racks onto Hall B, onto their grid if it snaps, and
Yeah.
using it as a little rearm station.
Yeah. That can be pretty cool. I've seen people putting seats on the Hull B and flying people around, calling it the poor man's Genesis Starliner.
That's pretty good.
1 second here. I'm
Ooh,
pulling up some windows.
size 10 bombs. Oh, I like the way that Ray Gun is thinking. That will be. I mean, if they could detonate, that'd be a heck of a bomber.
It would be. It would be. I do hope they open the whole series up to carry like all kinds of stuff sooner rather than later. But okay, everyone, I'm just getting some giveaway stuff ready here because we're going to do that here in just a second. The first thing we're going to do is the Hull B giveaway, though. We've waited long enough. Let me pull up a few things here. We're going to pull up Random Comment Shark for the YouTube video giveaway. We're going to do the random wheel of names, all that good stuff. We got to get it all ready here. And then I'm going to switch over. Stand by. Again, everyone, it's a big week. This Wednesday, we will be doing the Mercury Star Runner and Avenger Starter Pack combo giveaway. That's going to be huge. We actually have a lot of interest in that one. So for those of you that have got in on that, awesome for you. Okay, let me just get something set up here. Bear with me, everybody. What day is it? It's the 12th, right? Okay. So what time do we start the stream tonight? 7, right?
7, a little bit after 7.
All right, we'll say 7.
Close to it.
Okay. All right, first, everybody, we're going to switch over to the Hull B giveaway. The Miss Hull B giveaway, again, this is courtesy of Cloud Imperium Games. Big shout out to the community team over there at Cloud Imperium for supporting the STARJUMP show. All the shows I do and the streams I do. Really appreciate that. That's so Devron just donated $35. Everyone, we are $300 away from our $15,000 goal. How awesome is that? That's so Devron. Thank you very, very much. Salute to you. You're a legend. Got close to 15,000 tonight, everyone. It's going to happen. Might happen the next stream. Who knows? But when that hits, you're all going to get Country Grim. You're going to get Country Grim. So yeah. Okay.
I'm here for Country Grim.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. What Art doesn't know is I'm going to order a wig and some other paraphernalia for him, and he's got to do country art. He just doesn't know that yet. So that'll be Grim in a full other character. I'm going to role play a completely different character. Won't be me. We're going to do the whole stream like that. Mullets, big Dr. Disrespect style glasses. You know how it goes down.
I mean, that may be country to you. That's just down home for me. I am from the southeast of my state.
Yes,
so
yeah.
we get, West
true.
Virginia is literally across the river. It's not a long drive for us.
Kavota says country space, Grim. Yep. Now Royce says, or who said it? Thorne says, remember, Grim, if you reach 20K, your beard will have to be shaved off. Oof. I didn't make that promise. Execute make that promise. My wife might kill me. For real. We'll have to see. We'll have to see about that. Okay, here we go, everybody. We have the winner details hidden so that it can be done on stream with no funny business. Here we go. We're drawing a winner for the Miss Hull B, courtesy of Cloud Imperium Games. Remember, this comes with a Star Citizen game package, and it comes with lifetime insurance. Okay, here we go. Drawing in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yes, hide winner details. There we go. Draw. That was anticlimactic. Thank you. Fremder92, who followed on Twitch. Thank you very much, Fremder92. Congratulations. Let me tell you how all this works. I will contact Fremder92. He has 5 days to get back to me. And if he doesn't get back to me in 5 days, we will draw this ship again, and we will keep drawing until we have a winner, okay? So I will contact Fremder92 through the email provided on Gleam. Thank you very much, Fremder92. You won the Miss Colby. Now, again, if he does not claim that in 5 days, it will be drawn to the next person. That 5 days is in the terms and conditions for this giveaway. Okay. So stay tuned. You never know. In 5 days from now, I could be letting you know that the Miss Colby's back on the table. Okay. So there we go. We'll see. All right, everybody, we're switching over to the Sapphire helmet. These are so freaking cool. I love them. They're awesome. It's my new favorite helmet in Star Citizen. Okay, here we go. We're going to first do, let me go to it. We're going to first do the Stream Elements giveaway. We're going to grab the winner from Stream Elements. We're going to put you in the random wheel of names. Then we're going to grab the YouTube comment, the random YouTube comment. We're going to put that in the wheel of names. Then we're going to spin it. That's how we do it. It's not perfect, but that's how we do it. Okay, that's how we're going to do it. All right, let's go to Stream Elements. Hit refresh. You have about 10 more seconds to get in on this one. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Closing the giveaway. And we're drawing a winner. And we're scrolling down to the bottom. Offset Studio. Offset. We know Offset. Offset Studio. Congratulations. You are a semi-finalist. Semi-finalists. We're throwing you in the random wheel of names. There you go. Congratulations. Remember, everyone, whoever wins the helmet, you have to contact me on Discord, StarJump_Grim, within 3 days, okay, for me to work out your price. If you're the Twitch winner, so now we're going to go, so that was Offset Studio. Offset Studio, if you win, you can whisper me on Twitch, though. That's your other option, okay? YouTube, though, you've got to contact me through Discord, StarJump_Grim. Now, how do we pick the YouTube random comment? We do it very easily. We go over here, we put the video in, and we go to the advanced options, and we make it to where every comment left after today's date at 7 p.m., which is the start of the stream, is or qualifies to be randomly picked, okay? Anything before that, so from a previous stream or when I posted the video, does not count. It has to be comments left during this video, okay? Or during this stream. Okay, so what we're going to do is pick a random comment. Good luck. Hopefully you all got your comments in. And it's hunting. The shark is hunting. And it does this now, which I don't like. All right, there we go. Wardial Games. Thanks for the videos. Wardial Games, congratulations. You are a semifinalist. I'm going to throw you in the random wheel of names. Then I'm going to take both of you. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to just duplicate it a bunch. Get a little wild with it. You know how we do it here. Grab it again. Boom. Just makes it a little bit more exciting, right? All right, everyone. Well, I see Wardial in chat. Wardial, you are in Twitch as well. That's great. If you win, you or Offset win, I would love for you to whisper me on Twitch. That makes it easier, okay? That makes it easier, okay? 1 second here. Done in 5 minutes. The boss man, my wife, just messaged me. Had to get back to her so she don't kill me. Okay, here we go, everybody. Good luck spinning in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good luck. Oh, I do have a blank space. Weird. Wardial Games. Wardial Games, congratulations. Wardial, are you there? Where are you? I'm going to message you, Wardial. I'm going to whisper you. I'm going to say congrats. I'll get your email information later tonight. I'll probably send that helmet out probably late tonight, maybe tomorrow morning, but sometime around that time, okay? Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Congratulations, everyone. That was incredible. Do not forget, I'm giving away a Drake Ironclad out of my own hangar.
We're getting close.
We're getting close. But here's what people don't know. Here's what people don't know. I'm going to go to Gleam right now. Originally, this giveaway was slated to end on May 31st, but I gave that some thought. I don't like it because DefenseCon is the 14th to the 27th. So what are we going to do? We're going to give it away during DefenseCon, damn it. So there's less time to get into it, but hopefully you all have already got in on it. So when are we going to give this bad boy away? We're going to give it away on the final day of DefenseCon, May 27th. Okay. Competition's been updated. Make sure you get in on that while you can. I appreciate it. If you need the link to do or get in on that, that link is right here. It is a Gleam link. Make sure you get in on that Drake Ironclad giveaway. Again, as I've been doing for the last few months, just simply being here and watching streams, you've been getting tickets, okay? The tickets may not show up for you because they're in an Excel document that will be entered at the end, but they are there. I've been tracking. I get all the data. Okay, perfect. All right.
And that's the special upgraded Ironclad. Ironclad.
That is
like that's
Dyronclad.
Yeah,
With
it's
the D
exclusive.
there, it is the Dyronclad. That is a special
It's
one for
exclusive.
me. CIG approved. CIG
Exclusive.
said, yeah, CIG said, what can we do for Ender here? Or sorry, what can we do for Grim here? Well, maybe Ender. But they said, what can we do for Grim here that is truly special? I did that because I'm prepping something. And they said, we're going to send him the Dyronclad to give away. And as Quinn says, the Dyronclad is superior. Now, you may be asking yourself, are there other ironclads that may be given away during April, May? It's possible. You'll have to wait and see. The St. Jude time period is full of surprises, okay? Full of surprises. Now, before we do our raid tonight, I want you all to make sure you take a look at the April raffles again. We do appreciate all your donations. It's really incredible, the generosity shown. Do not forget the terms and conditions. And I want you all to give GearCon, who's been in chat this whole time, a giant 07. Again, pretty awesome of him to offer up all these ships for giveaways. So everyone give old GearCon an 07. In addition, in May, we'll have a few more giveaway items. We're going to have a Pigeon Spaceport Scorpius model to give away. We're going to have a 32-key Elgato Stream Deck from Icon City to give away, along with the Star Citizen Icon Pack. So we have some cool stuff coming. And we do have a little bit of STARJUMP swag coming. Okay, a little bit of STARJUMP swag. More on that soon. Could it be stuff from the gear store, the merch store? It could be. It could be. You'll have to wait and see. Okay. That was a fun show. We had a great time.
With the community this generous, I mean, let's be real. Nothing's truly off the table.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. 1 second here. Sorry. Boss lady messaging me. Yes. Who knows what will be happening? Who knows what will be happening? We got a lot of stuff. Even after St. Jude, later this year, I'll be doing another charity. It's a little shorter period, not 2 months. It's more of like a 2-week thing, but I think you all will be really excited by it. It'll be for a good cause. I want to thank everyone for the follows. There was so many tonight, everyone. I couldn't get to you all, but Agonov, Gosu, Nolo55, Captain Riptide, Robert Vose for that resubscribe. That's so Devon. Thank you very much. Thank you for the donations, everyone. Really kicking ass tonight. We did good tonight. We did real good tonight. We did about $800 raised tonight. So I want you to all give yourselves an 07 in chat. That's huge. Give yourselves an 07 in chat. Okay. All right. Tonight, I'm going to send you over to someone who's doing this charity push right along with me and has been for many years. If I can get it typed in here, I'm going to send you over there. He's playing a little Borderlands 4 tonight, which may not be your vibe. You may be in the Star Citizen vibe, but go over there, show him some love, say hello, all that kind of good stuff. He is doing the St. Jude stuff too. Same raffles, so you can get in on it over there. Everyone, I really appreciate you all tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget this Wednesday. Okay, this Wednesday the 15th, it's another big one. We're going to have another big stream with a big raffle drawing and possibly another cool giveaway. Okay, another cool give. Oh, and possibly what could be one of the most epic announcements ever. Maybe. I got to see along with some other stakeholders if things are looking good. But something that could be one of the biggest announcements ever. Not just out of STARJUMP, but out of all Star Citizen channels. Okay, so stay tuned for that. For now, I'm going to send you over Everyone, can send you over to Dad Bod Bard TV. Give him some StarJump love. Everyone, I hope you have a great night. It was a lot of fun. Art, thank you for being my producer and
Always a
co-hosting
pleasure,
as you're
sir.
doing. It's been a big help. Love your insight on stuff. Everyone, sending it over to him now. Give Dad Bod Bard a salute. Give him an 07. Everyone, have a good night. All right, and my YouTube crowd, have a good night as well.